Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 147 of the Terminus podcast. This is for the weeks of September 19th, 2020. Yes, we did skip one. I'm sorry about that. It was Labor Day weekend, and we were all very busy. I am your dispatcher, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. With me, I have my engineers, Brett Weeble, Jacob Durbin, and Nick Christensen.
Hey.
With us returning as our guest brakeman is HFM Bears. Welcome back, my friend.
Hello.
Oops. Just wanted to fix your capitalization there.
All
and
right.
we have a lot to talk about, because obviously it's been an extra month. We're filming this a little early. We couldn't get the stream we wanted. And before anything else happens catastrophically, the train will terminate at the station.
Okay, this week we are in Kansas City, Missouri, which is not quite Kansas and not quite Missouri. It is something else. Something disgusting.
Something other.
Something other. Something else.
I have to say, I disagree, though. Kansas City is not disgusting, because pulled pork is amazing.
And then
Yeah,
That's fair. Kansas City barbecue is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give them that.
oh wait, never mind. There was Topeka where the entrance fell in the river. I was going to say an engine has fallen into the
No,
river.
not
in
this one,
Kansas
yeah.
City.
Oh man, we've got so much to cover. Alright.
Yeah.
We're starting on... Oh man, of course. Of course. We're starting on August the 22nd with derailments from each of the major Canadian roads. There was one from Canadian Pacific outside of Wabec. Not Wambec. 18 cars
Wambec.
left the tracks. Here's something amazing I'm seeing. There's the image of these rail cars, which, 18 cars left the track. They removed the cars, repaired the track. No injuries, no hazardous materials, nothing special like that. However, the picture on this article is just 4 cars in the middle of a field. There are no tracks in sight. And I'm wondering what happened here.
Yeah, same. The only thing, one of them looks really badly beaten.
Oh, yeah. Oh, just wait. That's not the worst thing that's happened to a rail car this week. Canadian National, on the 22nd, did something that I've never seen happen before in real life. And I wasn't sure it could happen except in the movies and Thomas the Tank Engine. Which is, they ripped a hopper car in half. They ripped one end of it, truck and all, clean off.
Oh my god.
It wasn't the drawbar that gave. It wasn't the coupler. It was the frame of the car. And I didn't...
What's next? Sorry.
I didn't know that you could do this. I mean, I'm sure I knew it was... I mean, it's physically possible, obviously. But,
yeah.
They just ripped it off, and then the stuff inside, white powder, probably coke, spilled, but that end of the train didn't move, because they were pulling it from the other end. So they dragged this single truck and some scrap metal. I'm not sure how far. And then must have realized, hey, we're missing some train here.
That's why you gotta protect your stub.
Yeah.
What's next? Sorry.
No, go ahead, what?
What's next? Is there going to be one of these mantles of responsibilities where a train wreck just because a truck collided to it, like Super 8?
I mean, we've definitely had those. We have a train hitting a truck. Uh-oh, John is also playing Among Us.
Oh no.
Why is this in here? Something screwed up. Train is... Oh, okay, sorry, I have to scroll down. Cleanup in Tennessee after NS train derailed on Monday, August 24th. This was in the Telford area of the county. 10 cars jumped the track and zigzagged. I'm not really sure what happened here. No hazardous materials, no injuries reported. That's my favorite line. Except, there's only one exception to that, because giant fireballs are cool. But as long as nobody was hurt, that's a good thing. I appreciate that. BNSF derailed on August the 30th, with strong winds blowing over cars. Also, the picture they use in the article is of BC Rail. So, thinking emoji.
Trend.
Yeah. According to the Texas Department of Public Safety, several train cars were blown over on Highway 60. Probably double stacks. We don't have any pictures of the derailment. Although there's a video. Thankfully,
I'm looking at the video right now, and all I see are just a bunch of hoppers, as well as broken intermodal containers.
Oh, okay, so yeah, that makes sense. Double stacks are really susceptible to getting toppled like that. They're big sails. What are you going to do? All right. Next up is Union Pacific on September the 2nd, 2020, where they derailed 4 cars by the looks of it. That's really uneventful. Yeah, that's it. No, nothing interesting out of that one. Good job, UP. You crashed. And then they did it again 4 days later. This one is worse. It's also in a parking lot, so that's unfortunate. No... Oh my god, it's a real mess. There are cars everywhere.
What the hell happened?
I don't know.
Sorry for swearing, but I'm just...
Congrats, UP.
I am just disbelieved.
Hey, don't swear on this hecking podcast.
Yeah, right.
We're family friendly. Anyway.
We're rated G, people. All ages admitted.
Now, there was another derailment on the 6th, this time from BNSF. This was in Temple, Texas. 27 cars off the track. No injuries, no hazardous materials, and they were all carrying sand, which I hate.
One of them has a giant hole punched in it.
Yeah, I'm betting somebody was trying to fix it with an excavator and just sort of... Bam.
Chrome.
Now...
Did it get everywhere?
I assume it did. It's coarse and rough and irritating. Now, there's a reason we're
Right.
watching this camera. Although, I would have liked to be watching TBA and the rest of the Horsemen play Among Us, which is what they are doing right now, because they wanted to be the camera, but Steam's screen sharing was not working, so we did the backup, which is to hijack a virtual railfan stream. At this very spot, in this very camera, on... Oh, I skipped one, but on the 9th.
Yeah.
I skipped a CSX derailment. I'll come back around to that.
Alright.
There was a derailment, and the video is up on Virtual Railfan's page. This was September 15th. They posted the video. Which I thought...
Oh, I've seen this wreck
Maybe
before.
I misread the header. Oh, I did misread the header. So this was on the 15th. It wasn't even on the 9th. But it's a train with auto racks. I don't know if they're loaded or not, but it comes undone on this trestle. It doesn't fall off, but it makes a right mess. This is on the 15th. I will fix that.
And then-
CSX...
From the camera, too.
What?
Am I in front of the camera?
Oh yeah, no, it was caught from 2 different angles.
Nice.
I love this. With the
Fire.
proliferation of virtual railfan cameras all over the place, we're seeing more derailments. We're not missing these things. So anyway, CSX derailed on September 2nd, or 7th rather. 9 empty steel coil cars, string-lined by the looks of it, almost took out the gate. Oh, they did sort of take out the gate of this crossing, but nothing to write home about. Empty cars. Empties east, empties west. Actually, on the 9th, they derailed again, this time on the Northeast Corridor. So that's a lot of damage. They had to cancel all Amtrak service between New York and New Haven because of the derailment. And then they had to, assess the damage on the catenary and all sorts of stuff like that. Derailing under wires is not a good time, so good job,
No.
CSX. You ruined it.
You see, this is why people made fun of CSX back then. Or
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah, no, I mean, they deserved it. Anyway, let's talk about the real news, which is that KCS hit somebody.
No. Oh.
they exist, and they killed a man again. Oh no, nobody was in the truck this time.
Oh,
This is the
So they
first time.
just killed
This is the first time we've had a KCS crash where they haven't killed someone.
that's impressive.
I mean, usually it's just them creaming a small vehicle.
Though, is it just me, or in the first photo, does it look like there's a flattened rubber chicken?
Flattened rubber chicken. Hold on.
Like, it just...
Oh my god, I
when
see it in
train
front of the
hit.
radiator. Yes, it looks like a stretched out rubber chicken. Everyone go look at that.
Yeah.
And by everyone, I mean the audience. Alright. On the 11th, though, KCS was back. I think it's KCS. The only identifying marker is the fact that the hopper says KCS on it. So I assume it's KCS, but there are only these two pictures. And it just demolished an 18-wheeler. So they did it twice.
Whoa.
Yeah, the comics say KCS.
Okay.
Can I...
F.
Can you what?
Now that's a lot of damage!
I always look for the one worst accident in the bunch, in the batch. That's a lot of damage worthy. CN derailed again on the 14th. This was in British Columbia. 60 cars went off the track. Several cars ended up in the water. And it looks like a whole bunch of them just sort of piled up together. All potash. Potash?
I just pronounce it as potash.
Potash. I mean, potash. I would like to start calling it potash because it sounds cooler. Bigman. Train derails in Washington County. Who was this? This was Norfolk Southern. This was actually literally yesterday. So this is our most recent derailment. NS derailed several cars off the track. No injuries, probably, they say. The cause of derailment is unknown, but there are definitely some tank cars in this mess. So I am hoping... I mean, I guess I just hope nobody had to be evacuated. Obviously, there's no fireball. Boo, no explosion. But that's it for our extensive Class 1 mantle of responsibility. So, what have we all done in the past month? I know COVID's a thing, so we haven't really gone
So who
anywhere.
holds the mantle now?
Oh, that's an important question. I'm glad you asked, Milky.
Because it appears to be a tie.
A tie?
Yeah.
No, it's not a tie. Canadian Pacific is the one who derailed least recently. So,
Okay.
if you'll notice...
Oh, you're going off of time on the day. Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
Here's the thing, right? CP derailed on the 22nd. And yes, CN derailed on the 22nd as well. But
Yeah, the Canadians were screwed on the 22nd.
CN derailed again on the 14th.
Okay,
So it's
that's
been
a
less
double
time.
negative.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
So Canadian Pacific
see.
is now the current holder of the Class 1 Mantle of Responsibility.
Congrats,
Thank you.
DP.
Good job, Canadian Pacific. Let's see how long you keep it.
Yeah,
Because last time it was for one episode.
yeah.
Anyway, all right. We were talking about what we were doing.
Yeah. All right. Most of what I've been doing is related to Trains MPS because that finally came out for Trains Plus users,
But not for everyone
and
yet.
it. Not yet.
I'm not bitter.
We're getting there. Yeah. We're getting there, and what we have so far is pretty freaking awesome. the Gmod foamers and I have been working on a route, and I'll show some screenshots from it.
I want to see pictures.
Pictures of MPS. Okay, I'm gonna not post them in that Discord. Alright.
Ace is mad because he missed the question again. I'm just looking through the chats while you grab your pictures. and I want they already are all bailed out of doing thing.
Yeah.
But okay. This is the multiplayer surveyor route.
Yep.
I see some
North Charleston is the route name. Right now you can get on and view it yourself if you have the feature, but you won't be able to build anything unless you get permission.
Gotcha.
So it's open to the public to view, but you can't publicly build.
What is it? Wait, what is going on in this first picture? Hold on.
Okay, so it's street running,
Yeah.
between two streets, and it's two Grand Trunk Jeep 9s hauling two Kanawas.
Okay.
That's a lot of smoke for inactive canal.
Yeah. Hauling, quote unquote.
I don't know, maybe the Kanawas are hauling the Jeep 9s.
That's why it's inactive, though.
Also, I never said inactive. They could have been, could have been right off the roundhouse.
It's a push.
But no, that was because the telegraph wires are still kind of screwy when you put them close to the track.
Right.
And by kind of, I mean this happened.
Yeah. I see a town.
Yep. Stockwick is its name. Doesn't have much to it. It's just a nice small town, rail yard. And North Charleston is 4 miles away, and that's where it connects. And I might build more after I get done with the town.
I'm loving it.
Yep. But that's about all we've been up to. Yeah.
I've been spending time with my best friend in the world.
You sound like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
He is
well,
Mickey
it's not
Mouse.
that far off.
Oh no! It's worse.
Oh yes, it's worse.
Now I want you to recount, or I want to recount just before you get into the adventure that is Thomas, the phone call that I had with you previously, which is when the Strasburg Railroad called you.
Yes.
And said, "Hey, you haven't canceled your Thomas yet. Is that a mistake?" And you guys were like, "No, it's not."
We are one of 2 railroads in the United States doing Thomas this year. The other one being Strasburg, which I believe they're doing it right now as well.
Probably.
So, it's Thomas. There's nothing really new. It's a little strange with the COVID stuff. We've got everything is outside and the attendance is really, really low.
Mm-hmm.
And also the loop broke a diesel, so we're having to run it with 491, and it is really freaking hot.
That sounds
But that's
awful.
about it. Yeah, it's not bueno.
No.
It's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, it's, you get to play with the steam engine, but at the same time, it's really, really, really freaking hot.
Is it still awful to run Thomas? Like you have to go really slow, or is that just polar?
Yes.
Oh no. Okay.
No, Polar's actually fine to run. Thomas is the one you have to go really, really slow for.
Yikes. Well, I'm sorry about that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Such is the way of things, unfortunately.
Yeah. Anyway.
But that's really all I have. I mean, nothing else is new. It's COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, same. It's COVID. I had stuff that I did before the wildfires started.
Sure, that put a damper on stuff.
Yeah. I was trying to go see another washout.
Now you can't see anything at all.
Yeah. Although it did rain a whole bunch today, so maybe that's going to change for my next day off. But,
honestly, speaking
Jader, give us your tank cars.
Oh
so
yeah,
we can
no,
fill out the
I
fires.
want to hear about Jader's tank car. I just wanted to throw out, particularly for you, Milky, that I was doing some research, or just some impromptu research, because we were talking about the wildfires. And apparently, as of 2014, the majority of Catalinas still airworthy are used for firefighting service. Still.
Yes. Yeah.
The Sky Whale will
Yeah,
prevail.
I was just like,
Yeah.
do these guys still do stuff? And it's like, yeah, they do. There's a list on Wikipedia
Rescue whale is here.
of there's a list on Wikipedia of all the surviving ones and their disposition.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I frequent that one.
I'm sure you do. All right. What about surviving tank? Oh, there's more than just a tank car. Jader, what is all this?
Okay. So, earlier in the summer, around when we started to reopen after COVID, I got to thinking, hey, our 50th anniversary is in a couple years. And then I saw this little wish list of stuff we want to do in the shop.
All right.
And one of the things on there is photo freights. Now, on there, it said, redo some boxcars for a photo freight. I'm like, that's all well and good. We have, we have 5 old Cino boxcars sitting around. One of them's already, the one picture I posted, one's already brown, but that stalled. And I got to thinking, hey, boxcars are great and all, but we have all these other freight cars. Why don't we, try to fix some of those? So last time I was down, after we were done for the day, while I still had some daylight and before I went home, I poked around all the freight cars that I could easily access, and just to see, what at least I consider in good shape.
Yeah.
Because some of them might be slated to be scrapped. One of them already has been, and then others are waiting their turn, which is a shame. But the ones that aren't are still. Hopefully, I can make a decent case to keep them around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the first one I posted, that's the tank car that we have. That's between that and the boxcar, I want to start with one of those because the tank car still has most of the lettering. And I honestly think, except for, replacing the air hoses, giving it an inspection, and replacing the wood on the walkways, it's all there.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be probably one of the easiest to start with. It wouldn't require much research or anything.
Yeah.
The boxcar is tricky because I found information on these type of boxcars, but not when they became chassis system and were renumbered for maintenance away service. I can't find anything on them. I can find when they were C&O, and I can find when they were chassis system. Nowhere in between, what numbers became what. But I haven't looked in our office yet or archives. I don't know if we have anything.
If you keep good records, there should be some correspondence in there.
I hope we do. I'm going to try to look tomorrow. The plan is I'll be in the engine house most of the day, so if I have some time, I'll go poke around in the office. But that's the boxcar. The one below it, that's one of the 2 dry ice reefers we have. That's one I want to see on the train because from the research that I've been able to do, they're rare as hen's teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I can only find 2 pictures of them. One, it's like a slide that was on eBay a long time ago. And then the other one, I'll post it here. It'll take a minute to send, but I'll post it. The other one is, I think, of the dry ice reefers in service, but they're at the back of the train, so it's really hard to tell if it's this type of car, but I think it is.
I don't know that I've ever heard of a dry ice reefer.
No,
That's my thought. They're rare, so unless they're
those are similar.
Unless they're structurally fucked, we should save at least one. And then the one I took the pictures of seems to be the best of the 2.
Points for SW1.
Oh, sure.
I think that's necessary. See, I did a little further digging, but it didn't save the picture. I think that's an SW1, but I think it's some weird thing. I don't know. That's a whole nother tangent because these were released to some chemical company in Virginia that had their own little short line. It was really cool. I found a good article about the town that they ran to.
Yeah, it sounds adorable. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah. If I can find more information on it, I might build it in trains because it's a little railroad.
But
like,
I'm gonna be honest.
a few miles.
Speaking of trains, right? It looks like the kind of town anyone would build in trains. Here's
Yeah,
tracks,
I know.
a road, one line of buildings, and we're done.
Yeah,
Yep.
That
Small
could
yard.
be for an
Yep.
interesting module.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know if I can find more information, I might do it. Let's see. Next, I posted a flat car that I think was BN one time. Now it's just maintenance of way. I was trying to find stuff on it before we started the podcast, and I couldn't find anything. So I'm trying to figure out what road it was originally, because I'm pretty damn sure it wasn't originally BN.
Considering the seafoam green color, either it's just the BN, albeit really faded, or it was Penn Central.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like that other color that we don't talk about.
I don't know. I talked to our historian about it, and he said he'd get back to me, so hopefully he knows.
What was it called?
Um,
Century Green? It's disgusting. I hate it.
I call it seafoam
It-
green because
It's
that's what it
shade
looks like.
green.
Or aquamarine.
I want to say jade green is what it was actually called.
Oh, okay. Well, I just want to say that it's not because it's not because I'm biased. It's not because I don't like the Central or something. It's just a disgusting color, and nobody should enjoy it.
Where's that E unit that's painted?
No, I don't want to
green?
see it again. Get it out of here.
I'm biased. I just hate the Penn Central. It's disgusting.
Hey, could you imagine if that Penn Central T1 joke actually existed and it was painted in that paint scheme?
Oh, then my Sarah and Penn Central would be worth something.
Oh God. Penn
I
Central.
have it right in front of me.
The T1 Trust is going to knock on your door and request payment because you have the stock
Yeah.
certificate
Yes.
because it's worth $dollars. How hard would it be for the trust to assume the mantle of owning the copyright? Like, how much does NS really want to hold on to that?
Who knows?
Who owns the Penn Central copyright? Oh, I guess NS does because they have the heritage unit.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
though if Norfolk Southern actually owns the copyright, then does that mean that Rankin Bass had to get permission from Conrail to mention the 20th Century Limited in one of their specials?
Maybe not mention, but no. If they wanted to like produce something and use the New York Central logo or something, they would have to run it by NS probably, or if they wanted to use that logo.
Yeah, probably. Also, speaking of Penn Central Green, look what I found.
Oh God.
This never ends well. The statement, "Look what I found," is nope. We're not looking at that. Somebody else. Move along.
Yeah.
Let's move along.
Delete this.
Let's
I
move along.
have a couple
Just-
more.
just
I have
go
more.
ahead.
I have more.
Okay, Jader, what's this gondola?
Okay, that's our old C&O gondola. Was an open air, and long story short, it's been an open air since sometime in the 70s. And then we tried to use it for a robbery train, and
Phone
something's
turned
wrong.
off.
Something's wrong with the coupler height on one end,
Oof.
and it wouldn't couple.
Sorry about that. My phone
It
turned
kept
off.
hitting the buffer plate on one of the coaches. So then we pulled it out of service, and they took the roof off. I think that's in the line to be scrapped as well, but I don't want to see that go. Painted up painted up back in its C&O.
Are you guys a museum?
See,
Ouch.
I think we're officially a
Well,
tourist railroad,
are
but
you a museum or are you a tourist railroad?
I think we're both. Well, I don't know.
I
think we're
don't
more of
know.
a tourist railroad than a museum.
Great.
Why?
Just, it's not very museum-y to be scrapping shit, and I know, look who's talking. When will the scrapping at the Colorado Railroad Museum end? But these all
Yeah.
seem really interesting and historic, and,
Yeah,
really? You're just scrapping them? Why?
Well, I don't know. That's a whole nother tangent I could go on, especially after tomorrow. But that I don't want to go on a tangent right now.
It's okay.
Anyway, I want to make a case to the board to do this. Anyway,
Not scrap them.
yeah, to not scrap them unless they're structurally screwed.
Yeah. Then
Then,
you don't
yeah.
want keeping
I
that.
Scrap
mean,
it for parts.
they're steel. How? No.
That's my thing.
You can't burn
That's
them.
not how this works. I have literally mended cars with toothpicks. Literally. It's steel. Weld something on it.
I don't know.
Also, I just want to say that I love the next car, which is the Seaboard Coastline Hopper that has a chunk taken out of the side of one of the beams.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'm calling this hopper the elusive motherfucker because I can't find it. I can find information on ACL hoppers and Seaboard hoppers and SCL hoppers, but not this kind of hopper. So it's either some SC, like original SCL thing, like it was built for the SCL, which I doubt, but I don't know. I'm probably going to get in touch with the Seaboard Historical Society and see if they know anything.
Okay.
Got ACF trucks on it.
Yeah.
Weird.
Well, no, hold on a minute.
I just want to say that elusive mother hacker.
Where is it?
We're family friendly.
Yeah,
Oh,
watch
yeah.
your fucking language.
I just did it too!
Well, the picture's sending, but the trucks have ACL cast into them, or at least the one I looked at.
Oh, really?
So,
Oh, wait
Yeah.
a minute. Thinking
so
emoji.
I'm thinking it was some ACL thing that,
Interesting.
yeah.
Would be.
Let's see. Then after that, I just put a close-up of the tank car and some of the boards that need replaced, which doesn't look hard at all.
Those UTLX tankers are getting exceptionally rare nowadays.
Oh, are they?
You just don't see them. Because everybody had the same mindset. It's a UTLX tanker. There are 1.5 million of them. I'll just we'll cut it out, we'll sell it, or we'll use it as a stationary tank or whatever. There really aren't many of them.
Yeah. Kind of like
Cool.
it's kind of like that museum that saved the Conrail box car that was 89 foot long.
Yeah.
Those are starting to become uncommon, so they saved one.
Yeah. I mean, when you guys come on the Ohio trip, if we go to Hocking Valley, we'll probably drive by them. Up in Logan, they used to use them for the shuttle between Lancaster and Logan. I don't think they use them anymore. But there's like a dozen or 20 or so the giant 86-foot cars just parked in the yard there. It's like you wouldn't expect those in Southeast Ohio, but yep. Just a dozen of them just kind of hanging out there.
Southeast Ohio.
But yeah, look at the truck. It's got ACL cast into it, so
Oh, wow.
that's making me think it was an ACL car originally. But
Or they just
Which
stole
is
the
weird,
trucks
'cause
for
it's
someone
got-
else.
ACL's cast into it, but it's also got a patent date, so it's still...
oh yeah,
It's-
848.
It's like a design that they got, or a patent that they got from ACF, but cast them themselves?
Maybe.
That's kind of funny. Use a B48 brass, or it did.
We're just drilling down into this truck mystery.
Yeah.
Hey man,
that's-
it's,
I mean,
I don't know, it's interesting.
I know it's
Yeah.
interesting. I mean, welcome to the podcast.
the most elusive car.
Yeah.
The most,
Every-
the
well,
elusive
other-
mother hecker.
Yeah.
Well, other than the dry ice reefer.
Excuse
But I want to do photo freights with these and at least one caboose, but I'd like to do two because the CNO was cool, and they did, I think, up until the 60s on this line, they ran a caboose on the head end right behind the engine, and then one at the rear end.
See, that's just what you
And
call
we- and we-
lazy.
And we have two. Well, we have one caboose that's all complete. It just needs some touch-up work, and then another that's in progress in the corner of the engine house that nobody's touched in at least the 2 years I've been there. Nobody's touched it. So, yeah, I'll definitely I'll hopefully have some updates by tomorrow, like what we can actually do.
Go
Yeah.
out and get
No,
stuff.
we need to
started.
return to the subject next podcast if you're here. We need to closure on the mystery of the hopper.
Yes, the hopper.
Anyway, what else have we been doing? I can chime in, but I noticed Milky's got some pitches.
Yep, I do.
Oh.
I do. So the day that the wildfires started,
It's
I
a
was
boy, by
out
the
and
way.
about on yeah, right. It was a nice day. It was the day that we were actually doing our meeting for Apaparo.
Oh,
And I was chiming in on the meeting from a Canadian actor railroad. And the pictures that I sent describe why it's inactive right now. There's a few wasouts.
and there's some trees.
Yeah.
It's fine. Just hit him really fast.
Yep.
AM speed.
And then a few days later, after the wildfires started, whatnot,
Mhm.
I took this photo of 1501 at night. It turned out pretty damn good. If you didn't know better, you'd think it was the 70s.
Hold on, I gotta see. I gotta look see. Oh wait, where is it?
It's the first photo of the back.
Oh, the first photo. Okay, I was like
Yeah.
scrolling down, waiting for something to appear. No, that's a really cool picture.
Thanks.
Oh, wow.
Did you just take this with your phone?
Yeah.
Damn.
I just put some grayscale over it and was like,
It's a good
okay,
shot.
here's
I'm
the
amazed your phone could pick up that much detail in the dark.
Right?
yeah.
Right?
There's a lot
Here-
of depth to that for
Here-
not a
here-
lot of light.
Here's the car shot up bit.
Hold on, wait a
Is the
minute,
engine
wait a minute.
moving?
No,
Shameless plug for whoever this is. Milky, what kind of phone do you have?
Samsung Galaxy S8,
All right. So,
which the main reason why I got it was for
Holy
it's
crap,
quality
that
for
looks
taking
incredible.
photos. Thanks. Yeah,
It's got a lot of depth of field for not very much light.
yeah. Even in the original, it does. But I thought, okay, the engine's just standing still. UP guy is working on the Fred. Why not try and do two stocks? A color and a grayscale one, and they both turned out decent. Pretty damn good.
yeah. Definitely. And I like how there's like a slight... I don't know what it is, but the fact that the grayscale is like slightly tipped,
Yeah.
and the fact that you can't see the Fred. That's something that helps, I think.
Yeah, and the grayscale, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Anyway.
What year is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What year is it? Time to whip
I
that.
remember back in 1976 when mango gobbles.
Mango gobbles.
Mango gobbles.
Anyway.
Mango the gobbler.
Mango the gobbler. It just gets longer every time.
Yup.
Anyway.
It becomes more verbose.
Yeah. There you go. We need that meme. I recently made... I'm not sure if it was a mistake. But I made a choice. And it was after staring at Derail Valley for quite some time. I bought it on a...
Oh, boy.
I think it was a Friday afternoon. Or maybe a Saturday, like midday. And by the following Tuesday, I had put 20 hours into it. And I was like, oh man, this game. Like, I immediately did 2 streams in it, like, of learning the game. And it was a blast, and then I've just been playing on my own ever since. I haven't, like, unlocked anything new, because I told myself that I would only unlock stuff on stream. But I've built up, like, 200k, and all I have to say is, get Derail Valley. Get Derail Valley. It's so good. It scratches an itch that I've had for a long time, which is the other part of the I want to dispatch. Like, I want Run 8 because I want to dispatch, but I also want Run 8 so I can shunt yards. And that's all I really want to do. I want to solve problems. And Trains scratches that itch, but only a little, and all the scenarios are like, you know, I hesitate to use the word contrived, but they're made for you. It's here you go, here are your problems, go solve them.
Yeah.
Whereas in Derail Valley, 90% of the time, 90% of the trouble you're having with the job is your own fault. Like, you arrange stuff in the yard weirdly, and now you're going to have to move things around to get it what you want. And you're on the clock, you've got very clear instructions, and not only do you have the problem-solving, okay, I've got to do this, that, and the other to get my cars where they need to go, it has, I hesitate to call them realistic physics, but it has physics. They're good enough. The gameplay is difficult enough. And playing it like you're in VR and manipulating everything by hand is really fun. It's really engaging. It's very immersive, of course. And then just playing with, okay, you've got the shunter. It can't haul very much. You need to watch your temperature, so sometimes you might have to stop and just let the engine cool down and whatever. It's a great gameplay loop. I'm really, really enjoying it. And I'll probably stream it again, maybe even tomorrow, if I have time. Because this is the missed opportunity, train-related thing for this week. TJ and I were supposed to go to the WWF tomorrow to get trained as trainmen, to like do a test and whatever. But several things cropped up, including a miscommunication between us and the WWF as to the person that would be actually administering the test or whatever. And so we basically said, it's not worth it. It's not worth trying to go right now. Let's just not worry about it. And I was like, that's fine, because I've got a laundry list of chores to do around the house. So,
sounds familiar.
Yeah. So, that's been my adventures in the railroading world. I haven't really gone much of anywhere. I did have to do counts on the MBTA a couple nights ago, like last night and the night beforehand, which that was entertaining enough. They were running the new rebuilt F-40s, which I found interesting, not only because I got to see them in action, but because the Providence-Stoughton line, because it interfaces with Amtrak, is like the line. It's where they're going to put the best stuff they have, and they have the longest trains, because it's the busiest and it's the fastest, and if they screw something up, now they're in hot water with Amtrak. And so the old F-40s weren't doing it, obviously. The newer engines, they were disappointed with, I think was the phrasing. And so clearly if they're now allocating all of these rebuilds to the Providence-Stoughton line, they must be pretty impressed with them. And that interests me. That intrigues me. I'm glad to see that these engines are doing well, you know. So, anyway, what else are we doing? What else?
I just had a question about Derail Valley.
Oh yeah, what is it?
So,
Hang on one second.
What?
I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay. So, like, are there scenarios in there, or do you just get in and, all right, here's what you have to do it?
Okay,
and
so
then anywhere you please.
My
will.
dinner's gonna be in the microwave.
Okay.
Just figuring I'd bring that up.
Congrats.
I will gladly stream the game for you so you can see it after the podcast if we're still all awake. But the long and short of it is you get jobs. And so you just appear at a rail yard. I mean, there's a tutorial. But normal gameplay, you walk into a station building, and there's a list of jobs on the table. They're all individual papers, so you can pick them up and toss them around, because it's a VR game.
Oh, that's so.
Of course
Oh,
you
that's
can.
so cool.
Nice.
And so you sort through them, and there are three kinds of jobs. There are shunting jobs, where you're not leaving the yard, you're taking cars and loading them or unloading them. Logistical hauls, which are moving empties, and freight hauls, which are moving fulls. You start off with just being able to do shunting jobs, and then you unlock the other two. They're called licenses. You have to get a license for basically everything. You pay a fee, and you get progression. It's game progression. It's how it works. But
It's what's for breakfast.
Yeah, you'll basically be given a job. You'll look at the job paper and it'll be like, freight haul, 4 cars of lumber. You're going from this town, from the forestry, to the sawmill. It's this many tons. It should take this many minutes. And, I can't remember what else it tells you, but it's those are 2 things you need to care about. And it tells you how much you're going to get paid. And if you beat the time, like the time estimate, it gives you an extra 50% on top of what you're getting paid. So there's an incentive to do things quickly.
Okay.
So yeah.
If only Axel worked that way.
Yeah.
So it's like, at least the comparison that comes to my mind is like any trucking game I've ever played.
Yeah, it's very similar to that.
Right. Okay.
You get your job, and then it goes, okay, you'll get a booklet, and the first page will be, these are your 4 cars, these are what the numbers of them are. Like L584, L, whatever. They're on this track in this yard, go fetch. And so you'll have to find an engine, start it up, bring it over to the cars, hitch on, and go where you need to go. And it'll tell you you're going to this town, you want to leave the cars in this track. So, yeah. Again, I'll show you when we get done here, because I've been itching to play, obviously. If I put 20 hours in a game, I don't want to randomly stop playing it. But anyway. Yeah, that's my experience with Derail Valley. That's a brief summary of Derail Valley for everyone who's on the fence. Get the game, it's fantastic. And subscribe to the subreddit, and subscribe to their YouTube channel, and all this stuff, because the more stuff we do, the more points that accumulate on their website, and the closer we are to more community unlocks. The next one, I think, is map modding support, so we can have more than one map, which is a huge deal.
Ooh,
Hey.
I like it.
Yeah.
If they add GP7s or GP9s, I will like.
Well, I maybe I already passed the point for adding custom train support.
Yeah, I believe we'll get that eventually. We're past the threshold for that, I think.
I'm waiting for that.
Yeah. But we currently have a 2-axle shunter, a 6-axle road switcher, and a Mikado. And we're going to be getting a 4-axle dual cab locomotive diesel. We're going to be getting a allegedly Granite Rock 10 as a switcher, basically. And
Nice.
A couple of other things. I think there's an electric multiple unit in there or something.
Hey.
And a rail bus that we're getting. So,
Can it be? Please let it be a goose.
oh my god. Yes, goose.
I mean, the Well Valley is an accurate representation of the Rio Grande Southern Railroad. So.
Much.
I was kind of hoping that the small steam engine would be a mogul, because I want it to be something more capable than the shunter. But anyway, alright, what else have we been doing? Have we been doing anything else?
Well, for me at least, I managed to locate something kind of rare for trains.
Okay.
Train stops CNSD 75Is.
What are those?
And
I don't know
insane.
diesels. What are they?
They're a pretty obscure version of SD70.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
the SD7. They're pretty much obscure versions of the SD70M that the Santa Fe and the CN used.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. What?
And
just those
also,
two
I've started
railroads?
online school.
Oh well,
Yeah.
ain't we all? Well, not ain't we all, but life sucks.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting enough. Have we?
Sorry, I couldn't think of much of anything to say.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, no,
No big deal.
a lot of us have not done much. If I didn't buy Derail Valley, I would be talking about like my train counts, and that's it. I guess the other stuff that I
If I
covered.
if I didn't do MPS or
Bummer.
Watt, the Willamette Valley Railway.
All right. Anyway, if we're all wrapped up, then it's time for
Yeah.
Hang on.
Locomotive
Not quite.
versus.
No. Few seconds.
He's got to warm up.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Almost missed it there.
THX be like,
I was- All that wind up for that. Anyway,
Yeah.
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 What were you expecting something else?
I mean,
Yep.
nobody should ever listen to the podcast, but if you listen, it's not the most intense locomotive versus we've ever had. It's not as crunchy as some of the other ones.
Is that a
It's not as
challenge?
it's not as
I mean,
flavorful.
it's not supposed to be a challenge. Just a note.
I'm hearing a challenge.
Of course you are.
Actually,
Somebody mute Wybold. Wybold's the imposter.
Dear. Yeah.
Emergency meeting.
Doing my task.
Anyway, alright, so on this episode of Local we have the Pennsylvania Railroad I-1, we all know and love, the hippo, or the boobs, depending on what you want to call it. So we all know.
It's pretty much the tree from the last unicorn. That's all I can say.
Can I find a decent... I mean, this picture is fine, it's just not very large. Hold on, open image into tab.
If you open the original, it is.
Oh, no, not that one. I was trying to find one for moi.
Oh, okay. I was going to say...
No, this one is fine. Yours is fine.
Yeah. I was going to say, how big of a picture do you want?
Also, Jesus Christ, this guy's a big chungus.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Holy mackerel. Oh, I didn't show the
But I was forgetting that the entire rest of Maryland was just Big Chungus, the railroad.
Yeah, no, I am forgetting that. I have neglected that.
Am I the only one who finds it funny how Lake Superior and Ishpeming 34 734 form looks a lot like the I-2s?
Yes.
I was gonna say, thanks, Bible, for the quick reaction. I was gonna say it did remind me of.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so we've got the I-1
Except
versus
for
the I...
behind.
Wait a minute. This is the I-2? The I-2.
Yeah.
We've got the I-1 versus
I-2.
the I-2. Hold on a minute. I'm noticing a pattern here. Notably, this is the I-2, or at least that's how I have it written down. But anyway, so I am going to be...
Hold on, I have a conspiracy theory.
I am
Okay.
curious, because we didn't pick which one we were doing. Can we hash that out really quick, so that I know which version of the I-1 I'm doing? Because I've got 3 of them.
It looks like an I-1SA.
The sucky one.
The sucky one. Yeah, thanks. No,
What, so all 3 of them?
I would like permission to ask a question which will not be metered, which is inconsequential, so I know which one I'm bringing here.
I think that's fair.
What year was this built, Milky?
1927, so you're good no matter what, fam.
Oh, okay.
Unless if they build these stupid things after that, then...
No, alright. I got it then. Alright, I know which one I'm bringing. Also, this one has more stats anyway, that's helpful. Oh, and it has
Yeah.
some things that are hurtful. Alright, let's go.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go. Listen, it's a Penzi thing. There are certain things that you know it's not going to be good at. So, up to you 3 who aren't competing.
Yep.
Who's asking the first question here?
I want to hear Milky's Loca-Base
Listen, I was going to ask that first anyway. So, alright,
Okay.
Milky, go ahead.
God.
69.
I knew it was going to be that. You know why I knew it? Because mine is 67.
Damn.
Oh! Poggers!
Poggers.
Okay, now I have to do something else. There are certain things that I know I'm going to win, right?
But I had to do it because funny numbers.
Oh, you had to. I mean, that's a low one anyway. I would have gone with that anyway, you know? So, how many were built? Or rather, number in class, because I don't have how many were built for this class for some reason, even though I clearly know.
I'll take 20.
Okay. Would anybody like to know how many were built?
Too many.
425.
Well, now why does that not surprise me?
Because standards. Okay.
How'd you go for...
Yeah. Alright, we've got
Let's-
that. That's
Let's
the
be
same.
real. Sorry.
What?
Let's be real here. The PR was more standard than the British Railway standard locomotives.
Oh God. Oh, I need to see which tender does it have me having? Because this could make or break me. I need to know because I'm not sure. I don't think that's. I don't think that's the big ones. I don't trust that. I don't trust those numbers.
Chat, because that's not the coast to coast tender.
Yeah, no. I mean the picture is not the coast to coast. I'm wondering what the stats are telling me. All right, so I'm not gonna do that one. Oh, you know what? I'll just go for the balls here. What's your tractive effort?
My tractive effort is wow.
Wow.
96,315.
That's a lot.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
How much is yours?
102,000.
Wow. Okay.
And 27.
Wow.
Which apparently didn't change across all three models, which I find unusual. Alright, what is... I think I might have this one. What is your driver diameter?
Driver diameter 61.
Yes! 62!
Damn it.
Way to be those guys, Ben.
I'm really having a forced perspective problem, though, because your drivers look so much smaller than mine. They look tiny. So... That actually makes me not as scared of certain things, if your engine looks that much bigger.
Big choo-choo.
So let's find out, what is your engine weight?
My engine weight. Engine weight. Damn, it was 800 off from being another funny number. But, 419,280.
I finally found something that the I1 is not thicker than. 352,500. Alright, I think I'm gonna pull through, guys. I was scared when I saw this thing.
50 tons difference.
0 to 5 to
Good
0.
God.
That's impressive.
Yeah, okay, alright. Let's just, well, there are certain things I'm still not doing. But what is your weight on drivers?
386,800.
Oh, you know what? I got that number wrong. The engine weight was 386 as well. The weight on drivers is 352,500. Okay, sorry, I got that one wrong. So the weight disparity is not as severe, but I'm still a lot lighter than you.
Still a lot of weight.
That is... Thanks, Giles, Corey. What is... Oh, I'm not going to do that. What is your axle loading, if you have it?
Axle loading. Yeah, I do have it. It is 78,000.
72,600.
Ooh.
Okay. Alright. Alright. I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to get the less dangerous things out of the way first. But I know there are things I'm going to lose. What is your... Nope. I'm scared, man.
I can feel you
I'm
avoiding.
scared, man. I know I'm like standing on the edge of a cliff.
This is gonna get crazy!
What is your ratio of driving wheelbase to overall engine wheelbase?
0.68.
Yes, 0.70. 0.70. We're dodging around the number here.
Yeah.
This already started off pretty nice, but... I'm not going to ask year because we already know, I have an unfair leg up on that one. You know what, this one I think I just have to know. What is your boiler pressure?
My boiler pressure is 240.
Oh my god, 250. Oh man. I don't know how I'm sneaking out of this.
Drubbing.
It feels like me just beating, it looks like I'm just beating the piss out of him, but I am treading so lightly.
I
mean,
mean, for those playing at home, the score is currently 9-0 in favor of the boobs.
Wow.
I mean, everyone ought to vote. Everyone votes yes on tits.
I mean, yeah.
I don't.
Oh.
Well, seek help.
Seek help.
Horny.
Anyway, go visit World Politics. Anyway, all right. What is your total engine and tender weight?
My total engine and tender weight is 835,460.
Holy crap!
Why can't they use your big, dumb, fat tender?
Yeah, my total engine and tender weight is 590,800. Jesus. I mean, I guess that proves to me that I don't have the big tender, but good lord.
Milky, you weigh almost 100,000 pounds more than a 747. Which is effectively a 3-story building with wings.
Yeah.
Good God.
I need to change. I know we did a while back that spreadsheet that was like railroads and being the gods of blank. Western Maryland is definitely the gods of chonk.
Yeah.
Just look at the challengers they had.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, anyway, this...
Just look at 13... Oh, wait.
Ooh. Anyway, what is your minimum weight of rail?
I don't feel so good. I'm starting to regret my life choices at this point. 129.
Holy crap. Is that more than... No, it's probably not the highest we've ever had, but it's definitely... This is maybe the only time that a Penske engine has won.
It's probably the highest non-articulated or duplex engine.
You know, you might be right about that. Anyway, mine's 118 pounds per yard, which I thought was ridiculous, but I guess it's not ridiculous enough. All right.
What was I good at again?
I'm still not sure what to do here. Oh, overall wheelbase.
Overall wheelbase, 92.79.
Alright, 73.37.
Damn.
Another thing where I'm saved by a smaller tender.
It's effing enormous.
It's literally
It's so big, and I get that a lot, but damn.
It's pretty much the 210 equivalent of the Interstate Railroad 010-2.
We tried that. We did that. We put that against the I-1. I can't remember who won. I think that's the reason we're having this battle right now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the 010-2 was absurd, but this thing is even worse.
It's absurderer.
That moment when a
absurder.
locomotive with a more normal wheel arrangement's even worse than one with a standard one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there are definitely things I don't want to touch now. I'm basically left only with things I don't want to touch. I'm scared. Alright, tender loaded weight. I know I can get away with that one.
Tender loaded weight, that'd be 416,180.
Your tender is twice as heavy as mine. Which is the only time a Penske engine's ever been able to say that. 204,700 pounds on this tender. Holy mackerel. Alright, well, I guess I've had enough pussyfooting around. What's Robert Latency's power computation?
Okay, 25,080.
Damn it. I should have tried something else. Well...
What's yours?
Well, do we have to?
Do it.
17,475.
Ooh.
And I know why that is. I know why that is by looking at these engines, and I just shouldn't have done it. Alright, Milky's got a point. Milky's on the board. It's now 13-1.
Oh boy. What's your factor about teas and...
Oh, no. 3.45?
Oof.
Ugh.
4.02.
Oh my god, that's good.
Wow.
Yep.
That's like somebody was actually paying attention to that good.
I like the idea. I like the fact that the only
you
thing
find out why later.
the only thing we would have to do to make the I-1s better with factor of adhesion is add more weight.
More.
It's
Wait.
it's not one of those engines that is too heavy. It's one of the few that is way too light. And it's hard
Make
to
it
imagine
lighter.
that something like this just needs you to hang dumbbells off of it.
If you gave it too much weight, it'd probably become a miniature S1.
Yeah.
What, just breaking things
No.
as it rolls around? I'm pretty sure it already did that. It broke the
Yeah.
spirits of its engineers, that's for sure.
We
Engineers
need to
and
make
firemen.
it wider.
But you know what else could break the spirits of you firemen? Your tender fuel capacity.
Well, it's not insubstantial. It's 18.7 tons.
But
But,
to put in perspective, I got 30 tons.
Did you just say 30 or
Yep.
30.
30.
I heard it as freaking 30.
30. 30 Lance.
For these nuts.
Might just be your accent, though.
For the record, I'm looking at the Western Maryland logo on the tender, and it looks like, at a glance, it looks like the stereotypical, like, image of a cartoon ham bone.
Yeah,
Like,
pretty
all
much.
it needs is a bone sticking out of it, and just,
To me, it looks like the prop. From afar, it kind of looks like the prophecy image from Nazca, the Valley of the Wind.
I don't know what that is.
Well, of course you don't.
Well, I hope somebody in the comments does. Okay, Milky, just keep it going, I guess.
Okay, what's your tender water capacity then?
Alright, 10,030. Or it's 10,300, rather. Not that it matters.
22,000.
Yeah.
Bid tender energy.
Yeah.
You know what? We're in the firebox area.
No! 322 square feet.
503.
Yeah, no, I kind of knew that. Just looking at you. Look how fat you are.
Great area.
No. That's 69.9.
Nice, a nice number. But it isn't winning because 104.50.
God, you're effing wide.
A
Is that
vapor obtaining surface.
4590.
Excuse me? What?
Uh-oh. Wait a minute.
4574. What?
Yes!
Oh no!
I made a mistake.
Thank you, Lord Cassat.
And now it's 20.
And now it's 20. I mean, I don't think I'm going to stop right now because there are questions that I have that I want answered. The first...
What answers?
I need
Where
answers.
are the other drugs going?
Well, you know what? I'm just gonna keep going down this path. What is your superheating surface?
1,248.
Yes, 1,634. What is your combined heating surface?
5,822.
6,224. Okay. Alright, I did Robert Limousinas. I'm not doing the two below it because those are firebox based and I should have listened to Tyler. Power L1.
17,075.
19,958. And Power MT.
486.61.
624.11. And now, the real question that I've had, after looking at these two and being confused by perspective, how big are your cylinders?
30 by 32.
Oh my god.
Wow!
30.5 by 32.
What?
It's not even, you didn't even design that. Some asshole just slipped on the fucking boring bar. It's like, oh, I guess we'll open it up another half-inch.
That's a new one.
Okay, I have a related question then. I have a follow-on question. What is your evaporative heating surface divided by cylinder volume?
174,000.71.
Alright, I figured I was going to lose, I just didn't know by how much. Alright, mine is 169.62.
Oof.
Okay. Let me scroll over. It's now 7 to 19. And
God.
Milky, you have the ball. If there's anything that you want to do, you're welcome to do it.
That was an awkward silence.
Hearing a lack of,
We've nearly run out of stats.
it's an unwillingness to proceed. It's a
What
lack
is
of
your
want,
same
if
as
you will.
above plus superheat?
Okay, you found it. Okay, 22,019.
30,347.
I am dead.
Woof.
Same as above, but substitute firebox area for great area.
101,430.
146,071.
Oh! That's a lot.
Choo choo.
This thing is so big. Are these the biggest 210Os?
Possibly.
Let me check.
Because, good goddamn. Alright.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And now
Oh
for
Oh my god.
what
I tried to find it. I tried to search up the biggest decapod, and for some reason I got results on coconut crabs.
Oof.
Well, yeah, they're decapods.
Yep. They are.
You know,
But
Biggest
one more
decapod
question.
locomotive.
what
One
is
more
it?
question. When were you built?
Oh no,
It
I was
doesn't say.
avoiding this one because I win.
Okay.
It was just an
It doesn't
automatic point
say.
for me. So 1929.
1927.
All it says is that the greatest number of them sold were the greatest number of them built were the ones for the Pennsylvania.
Unsurprising.
Well, yeah.
Wait a minute. There weren't any British ones that were more?
The British only had the 9Fs. They were the only decapods they ever built.
Oh really? Oh,
Someone
okay.
did a comparison between the 9F and an Erie decapod, and the Erie decapod was way larger.
Yeah, no kidding.
yeah.
You can't fit anything in
Yeah.
England.
Alright, then,
All right. Well, I
So
guess
we
I'll
got
move it to
some
style
E.
points.
I only know the I-1.
I have a,
and also frickin' this. The
I have,
9F Cosby boiler.
I got a
Crosby boiler.
dramatic siphon in my boiler.
Is
Ooh.
thermic siphons?
Yep, I got them.
Do I have thermic
That's
siphons?
why I'm good.
For those playing at home, the British built 251 decapods.
Gotcha. Thank
Wow.
you. What? I don't
I'm
know if I have
sure
thermic
that you have the
siphons.
stoke.
You would likely not.
I assume I don't. I do have a feed water
Special.
heater. I think.
Shiny. You would appear to as well, Milky.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's under my boiler.
It's a hat, but it's down there.
It's a chin
It-
hat.
It's a chin hat.
It's a belt.
Chin strap.
I was gonna say your firebox wrapper sheets are jacketed, which is it's cool. You don't see that a lot, but the I1 is also kind of that way because Bel Pair. So, you do have a little snow kicker thing. That's kind of neat.
I'm assuming
Yeah, he
that
does.
we both have.
Snow deleter.
I'm assuming that we both have stokers.
Actually, wait, no, Ellis doesn't, does he?
Interesting question there.
And
Sure.
I thought I was
He
the
does
one
have a
that
stoker.
broke
His name
Ellis.
is Steve.
His name is
Yeah.
Steve, and we hired him last week because the other guy quit.
Oh, great powerful
Uh,
Steve!
Jeff
What do
died.
you want?
Yeah. Okay.
Jeff
okay.
just
Okay.
keeled over.
Hold on. No, they eventually did get them. We did get stokers. We didn't
Eventually.
when we were forced to. And power
We
reverse.
didn't just willingly sacrifice people to the gods that live within our fireboxes. That would be inhumane.
It's funny you say that because I actually read a creepypasta where it was a Baltimore and Ohio Big Six that somehow ran on humans.
Awesome. Great.
Yeah.
This belongs in SCP.
Yeah.
Also, I want to point out that okay, you know how Milky got bamboozled by my heating surface, right?
Yeah.
It's because we have tons of tiny tubes instead of larger ones. We have so two cats drop. Boiler lost more than twice as many. Blah blah blah. The M1 and the I1 used boilers with many more small tubes than were found in most boilers with Type B superheaters. So, that's how we got the heating surface.
You also have a Doge house.
We do have a doghouse sometimes.
I thought we did 2 sometimes.
If you can find one with it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
But yeah, I mean,
Because
Ellis appears to have a door, at least one of them.
I do, because my engine isn't ridiculously chonk. I mean, it is, it's just not to that level.
It's chonk, it's not ridiculously chonk. Although, Milky says safety first on the front. It's very important.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Very
yeah,
important.
good. At least we got that
Reminder.
sorted out.
Also, it's no different because I'm pretty sure the Penzi did this as well, but worth note, the Western Maryland engine has embossed numbers on the front plate.
Oh yeah, I mean that is nice.
It is nice, you just don't see it much.
I'm trying to find interesting stuff about this. Unfortunately, the only interesting stuff that I have is not good stuff.
Yep. Like your snifters.
What's wrong with my snifters?
Snifters?
They're the weird Penzi snifters. They're not normal.
Oh,
A
do
little
I get
wagon
Dr.
wheel
Point for
weapon.
that, or are they just weird and not worse?
I mean, they're worse,
Oh, okay.
but you also have Obongo Bongos, so...
God damn it. No, you know what? I'll take that. I'll take the point against me because I have a point for me. It's your favorite. The
I got
extra
so
the extra
anime.
set of marker lights.
That too. Wait.
This picture
We will be visible from space!
this picture doesn't have them, but it's Pensy. So you know.
Yep. They're there.
There's some down here, and there would be some up here, and there's some on the back of the tender too.
Hang on a minute. What's on the I-1? What's the little, is it a counterweight sticking out of the bottom of the cylinder?
That's what it looked.
Is
I
that
don't.
the
I
snifter?
think
Wait.
that's what it is.
What is
What is that?
I don't believe so. Hang on, I can't really see it.
Kind of looks like a spike.
Yes, it's a spike.
that one? Now that's a lot of damage. I don't know what it is.
I'll look into that.
It's something very technical that I don't understand.
Only the
It's something
only
very
the diehard
Penzi and
t-
strange.
Only the diehard I-1 foamers will understand it.
we can go see one. There's one that's left. Milky, how many of yours are left?
You've been
That's
waiting
my-
for that one, huh?
Does my razor blade count as a fraction of one surviving?
No. But also, no, I wasn't waiting for that. I kind of forgot about it until just now.
It's funny you say. It's funny how there's only one PRR or Decapod left when apparently they bought, and I'm not joking here, 598 210Os.
Yeah.
That is a terrible survival weight, but it's still better than mine.
Yeah.
It's terrifyingly unbalanced.
I think
A tiny percentage of something is better than 100% of nothing.
this is one of the
True.
most widely produced locomotive classes in the U.S. Or, you know,
And there's only one.
domestically. For use domestically, not counting everything we've exported.
Big and the PR was exactly known for donating big engines to big towns.
No, but they did try to keep one of everything.
Until the GG ones.
Yeah. Well,
Those things ran everywhere, but that's a different story.
that also wasn't the PRR doing that. Because they were
It's
long
fine.
gone. But
So
yeah,
maybe
okay, so
that's one more.
fun facts.
Wow.
Fun facts about the
Oh, yeah.
I-1. Unless Milky wants to dig up some other stuff.
Okay. You go.
Originally, they were built with the cutoff limited to like 59% instead of 75 or whatever. Oh yeah, so 50%.
Darn,
Just-
10% off from the perfect number.
Mostly because they say it was for efficiency, but the fact of the matter is, these things did absolutely just chew through coal, and they were so powerful that the counterweight, they were so powerful and heavy that the counterweights that they could fit in the drivers were not large enough. And so, these things shook their crews to pieces. They would just judder and leap, and eventually they were rebuilt to permit cutoffs up to 78%, and I'm sure that just made the situation worse.
Hunga.
I mean, they're very powerful, but there's a such thing as too powerful, and I think we might be there. A maximum of 8.1% thermal efficiency. I have no idea how that compares to anything else, but it's really chunk.
You can say that again.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I do have, and I'm noticing
What?
that you don't. I'm noticing I can see the flanges on your wheels. Only my first and last driver set had flanges. I had 3 sets of blind drivers.
Oh yeah.
Because
Lionel.
because Lionel, exactly. Because the Pennsylvania went, we have all these narrow, these tight-cornered branch lines, and we're going to give them these. So, roll out the Pennsylvania Special Rail and make sure they can make it around the corners. I will give you one thing, though. I think you have better sand distribution than I do. No, I think we both have 3 on each side.
Yeah. We're about equal.
I don't know what else there is. I do like your little plow thing. I have to compliment you on that. I know we already gave you a point for it, but it's cute. And I guess because somebody would probably complain about it, give you a point for that ball of yours, that fireball.
Yeah.
So it is now 26-13.
The definition of a style point.
Yeah, a literal style point. I'm not sure if things are so ashy that it looks like you have white walls, but it looks like you have white walls, as far as style goes. Anyway. Alright, well, I didn't expect it to go that way. I kind of expected to lose, but at the end of the day, I'm pretty impressed by how, I guess, well-built the I-1s actually were, in terms of cramming a lot of power into a admittedly quite large package, but still smaller than some other things, apparently.
And today I learned the I-2 is not the best engine on the Western Mailhead.
No, maybe not.
The Challengers, though. We can have a discussion about that some other time.
Bibble's going to get angry. We start
Have
talking
you
about
done a
challenges.
round of the challengers against the Union Pacific lines?
Anything? No. We don't put them against the Union Pacific Challengers. That's just mean to the Union Pacific Challengers.
Union Pacific Challengers suck.
We put them. I mean, I'd say we put them against the L105, but then Weibold would have to play, and that's just mean to everyone that is in Weibold. And I guess the only other option is putting them against the TNH Challengers, which I would firmly support.
Which is also the Union Pacific.
Oh, it is. Damn it! I like them less now.
It just has the headlights.
No.
Insetting the headlight makes everything better. It's like
No. It would be even funnier if, you want to know what really is the Union Pacific Challengers, though?
what?
The ones that the Rio Grande got that then went to the clinch field.
Yes. The identical Clinchfield Challengers. Listen, here's what happens. Here's why the TNH Challengers are better. The inset headlight, nobody ever noticed before, but when they built the UP Challengers, the headlight is actually a turbo button. and nobody else thought to press it down.
Nobody else pressed it.
The D&H were like, we don't like it like this, and they popped it in, and it was like, wow, they're so much better now. That definitely happened.
Yep.
Alright, anyway, so that's... I forgot to even write these in to the Cargos document, so just give me a second. I was just distracted by the prospect of actually doing this, because I've kind of been looking forward to this one. It's been at the top of the list for as long as we've had the list, almost. So, thank you, Bears, for letting us finally do this one. Oh my god, my mouse is effing broken. It's broken.
F.
I hate this so much. And now I've just botched the word Maryland in an incomprehensible way.
Sorry.
That one's not your fault. I'm not going to blame you for that
Hold
one.
off the derails.
Listen, I have another mouse on the way. I already ordered it.
Okay.
It screws me up in Derail Valley, too. Points. This is 26 to 13. Alright, what are you guys voting for?
The I-1, because I'm more familiar with it.
Okay.
I don't know. I like both of these because the I-1s ran here, but the I-2s kind of have a soft spot for Western Maryland.
Hmm.
So local foam or foam boner.
I vote I2s.
Yeah?
Yep. The boobs are great, but eh.
Oh, wait. Are we done, or do we have... I was going to say have one more style point, I think.
Oh?
What do these have in terms of models?
Oh,
Like
right.
trains or brass or whatever?
I mean, the I-1s have got everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have everything except for trains.
I mean, I would give myself another
Oh,
point for the
yeah.
trains model there, but I just don't feel like changing the score now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
Um,
I-1 model is really nice. So,
hmm.
go buy it. K&L Trains. Shameless promotion.
Shameless cross-promotion.
Free advertising.
Thinking of making a route where I can actually use it.
Shameless product placement.
Anyway, I'm going to vote for the I-1 because they ran here.
Okay. It's after this that I'm realizing, because I'd heard all the horror stories about the hippos and I don't remember what they had other names for them. Other shall we say unfortunate pet names for these engines.
What were they?
I don't remember, but it had to do with the fact that they just shook violently at speed.
Were they called dogs?
Your I-1
Hey,
nicknames.
what?
Hey,
There's
why
no-
will do?
There is no dash in standard land.
But
that's right.
one.
I forgot.
Chi-Chi-1.
That was because that nameplate was named by General Electric, and they don't know what they're doing.
No,
Also-
it's because
Oh,
Chi
I found it.
is cheesy.
I found it. They were called, quote, the holy terror of the PRR.
I was thinking more along the lines of, pitas or something, but that works too.
That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, here's what it says on Wikipedia. Large cylinders enabled the I-1s to apply that power to the rails, however. The large boiler limited the size of driving wheels, which made it impossible to mount counterweights large enough to balance the piston thrusts. As a result, they were hard riding at anything but low speeds and prone to slipping, and not popular with crews. So,
Oof.
Also, they called it a new subclass after just changing the reverser and nothing else. Just to allow more, cutoff. They were like, this is a new class now. It's the I-1SA instead of the I-1S.
Yeah.
This is new.
Yeah. You know why? It's saying that now they're not standard, so we need to call them something else. We cannot let this weirdness stand.
If you make everything its own class, even if it's entirely unique, in a weird way, it's all standardized.
Exactly. Our
It's
class.
all standards, always has been.
Yeah. I'm telling that to Griggs over at the Boston and Providence. We have a loose assemblage of engines, and we're not going to call them a class because they're all slightly different, even though they're basically all 440s from the same period, made by the same exact people for the same reasons. Anyway, let's talk about.
Speaking of standard designs, Western Railway Museum has preserved San Diego Electric 502, which is a PCC car. Not just any PCC car, the first one that was ever on the West Coast. Yeah.
I'm amazed that they could track that down.
Cool.
I am honestly amazed.
It was on the Scrubber Live Steam for years.
No, just that
Of all
fact.
places.
It's like, how do you know?
Yeah.
Like, how do you trace that lineage? I'm not doubting them. I'm just impressed.
Because San Diego ordered the first ones, and this was the first car that showed up.
Oh, okay.
Ding.
I don't know why they started with 502.
Well, did they start numbering them at 500, but this was just the first one that showed up? Question mark.
It may have been.
Possible.
May well have been.
Well, yay, 502, and it's saved. It's confirmed saved.
Yep. Confirmed saved by our good friends at the Western Railway Museum.
That's a
So,
museum I want to go see.
Mm-hmm.
I know people there.
Of course you
Have
do.
like a what was it? Don't they have like a really like a 10-mile or something recreated interurban line?
Yep.
That's what I was thinking.
And they can do just about track speed on that, which is like 40 at points.
Wow.
Quite nice.
Okay, if
Yeah.
we do a West Coast,
I could be
where is it?
wrong on that, but
Where is
uh,
this, California somewhere?
yeah. It's out by Wheelbase to Chunks in California. Great
It's like close to
museum. Great people. Not saying that because I know a couple of the board members there. Shout out to
Say
them
that
for making this work. Yeah, this product, it was their brainchild that they helped start. Congrats to them.
Why is that wrong? Sorry, I'm trying to.
But yeah, they're gonna move it at some point to the museum, and then they're gonna put it undercover and start fundraising to actually restore it.
Nice.
So that could be fun.
I don't have any-
Speaking of stuff getting fixed in California,
Oh, yeah.
SP
That's a weird
1744,
segue.
I mean, yeah, California.
it works.
It's not the worst one we've done.
No, the segue is fine. It's just like, speak of things getting fixed in California, said no one ever.
Oof.
Okay, I'll we hire my creative writing team then.
For segues. From the men who brought you speaking of things that don't even soup. And
Yes.
doesn't have comfy seats.
These seats.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's
But
up?
the frame and landing gear for 1744, which is Swanton Pacific Mogul, have showed up at the Niles Canyon Railway, which is cool. And the boiler is going to Alamosa, to our favorite Stockton Locomotive Works to get worked at. Which
Really?
added, yeah, that's one of the reasons why he built the boiler shop on his shop now, which is also an update to Stockton Locomotive Works. They now have an extension that they're building to their current building. So, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good
On
for
top,
Swampy.
on top of their giant art project that they got going on,
Yeah. How's the art project? How's 61 doing?
it's going great. They got one of the domes looking nice. They mounted the number plate to the boiler,
That looks pretty cool.
and now they're working on expanding their complex to have another building.
But have they done the
For
tender
boiler-
decking yet?
Not yet.
You know who has?
Who?
Steamtown's got the tender decking.
Oh boy.
3713's tender has arrived back at the shop. Or well, the thing was moved into the shop, and the new tender tank and the new bunker have arrived, I should say. The parts of the tender are coming back together. It doesn't have the wheels yet; those are on the way. But
Coming back together as in a group or assembled?
they are in a group. So the tender frame and most of the shell of the tender, I guess, and the new cistern and the new coal bunker are all on site in Steamtown. The trucks are still being rebuilt. I'm not sure if they're being rebuilt on site or if they ship them out to like Steamtown or Strasbourg or something to get worked on. But the point is, big strides are being made on the tender, and I know that's not the flashiest thing in the world. I know we joke about tender decking, but it's like once this is done, I know they've got a ton of other projects up in the air. Once this is done, that frees up a lot of manpower to work on other things. So, I know with the way things are right now, there hasn't been a lot of work on 3713, especially because it's part of a national park. So things have been a little slow. But there's definite progress being made. Another place where progress is being made that's exciting is on the WWF. Of course, they're always making progress, but this was something special. There was a train that was run back on the 12th to test the new vacuum train brakes with engine number 9, coach 3, and coach 8. And those are the three things they have hooked up with the vacuum train brakes. So that's a big deal. That's some big news. I would have liked to get up there, but unfortunately, like I said, things fell through. The WMNF also recently put out a video. I believe you can buy a DVD or something of the summer something or other. A virtual summer on the WWF. That was put out back in August, and you can see the 2020 opening weekend in all its glory. This is just an advertisement for it here.
Yeah.
So promoted the WWF, of course. Also, buy a WWF mask. Why not?
Yeah.
Pat did.
Woo!
It's what the people want. What else do the people want?
I want MPS.
Oh?
But
Yeah, a
we
lot of
finally
people want
got it.
I want...
we finally got it for the trains plus beta. So that's very cool. They have a FAQ page here.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Heck. Wait.
But yeah, it's really cool. I've been enjoying my time with it, as I have been since they introduced the closed beta. But it's been fun, and it actually works really well. For what it is right now, it works super well. Dare I say, the trains moving around is more synchronized than they ever were in regular multiplayer. And it's fantastic. Because now I can look at someone else driving a train and not see it just bug out. Or it crash the server.
I'm glad to see it's getting better. The multiplayer surveyor is stabilizing a little bit, and you said they're adding stuff like crazy?
Yeah. They're going to have it to where you can choose from different content packs, because there, of course, has to be a limit on how much stuff you can have. Yeah. Because you just can't have the entire DLS on MPS.
Soon TM.
That'd be impossible.
I don't see impossible.
So, how exactly, how are they doing content? Do you just upload a big batch of content that you want to use,
No.
and then that's like that, and then that's like your palette.
No, right now we just have one batch of content that MB3 has set up for us, which has a decent variety of stuff in it. Enough that you could do a pretty decent route with it, and I've already we've already done some good stuff with it. Even in there, as I think so screenshots earlier when I was talking about it. But in the future, you will be able to choose between different sets of content. And I don't know.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that that's not the end all be all of the way they want it to be, but
No, it's not then all, but it's a start to something that started with them saying that they were going to do it 5 years ago.
mm-hmm.
And now it's finally here in its current form, and it's still fantastic.
May I remind everyone that the first post about multiplayer Surveyor was posted on an April 1st.
Yep.
Or if you want to get well, yeah, that was it. That was back
April
in-
Fools, everybody's like, but that would be so much cooler than anything you're actually working on. And they went, oh.
And then we actually started planning for this, but we'll find out about that probably on the next podcast.
Soon, TM.
Yeah.
I've got to get World Edit back so I can properly do the planning. Make a new.
But anyway, on to some actual trains. Seashore Trolley Museum, unfortunately, had some vandalism done to their 9-car Claremont car number 4.
Oh.
The controller blew up, which I haven't seen the controller blow up yet, but I've seen smoke out of a controller before. Yeah, that's a big yikes.
So it was vandalized?
Yeah,
Yes.
but the calls were
They-
coming from inside the house.
Yeah.
Ow.
Like their conclusion is that it was vandalized by somebody by a volunteer.
Huh.
Okay, gotcha.
So by
that-
someone that knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Huh.
It's not like, oh, Jimmy set a boxcar on fire. No.
I'm gonna throw this mouse across the room.
Not going well for you.
But anyway, they were able to fix it pretty quick and notice it before any serious damage was done. And then they proceeded to continue using it for their overhead repairs.
They've also been using 150, which is adorable, and I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, 150 is an adorable little engine. I'll have to elaborate more on that some other time because we've actually been to Seashore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going back. We're going back next year.
Yes. Wait, so, on the note of electric trains, all aboard high-speed train, Nevada, California, Feds OK bonds. Okay, that title.
James Bond.
Something else. But, with a potential 10,000 construction jobs at stake, Nevada approved bonds to help finance a high-speed electric train linking Las Vegas with Southern California. So this ties into Express West, of course, our soon-to-be favorite passenger line.
Soon to you. Depends at the rate at which it begins killing people.
Yeah.
We have an Express West thing, or you were just sagging to talk about it.
No, that was pretty much it.
Oh, okay.
That bond was for Express West.
Yeah. I've got something on the east that's kind of interesting. Because
Okay.
New Jersey is so close. It's this close to almost starting to create a reason to go to New Jersey.
Hmm.
Other than the cheap gas. They want to put a monorail on the Garden State Parkway.
Monorail! Monorail!
So,
Monorail.
yeah, I despise this conversation. I'm just going to throw it out there, and I'm sure everyone else that knows anything about like traffic and transit infrastructure will too. And it's, what should we do? Question mark. I keep saying my punctuation now because I'm used to doing voice to text. I've gotten into a really terrible habit, I suppose. New Jersey is questioning what it should do. It needs more capacity in the Garden State Parkway. So, should they add more lanes? Obviously, that's the solution.
Duh.
And so someone says no. No. We're looking at the median to figure out if it could be an ultralight rail, almost a monorail type system, as a means to move people through congested areas, such as this area on the Parkway. Or a bus rapid transit, which is okay. And yeah, they're basically tossing around the idea of doing literally anything that isn't just adding more lanes to the highway. Which is good. Good job, New Jersey. Please do this, and then other people please listen to them. However, don't do a monorail. Please. Don't do a monorail. I mean, listen, they're cool and all, but there's a serious incompatibility between doing anything with monorails and, like, any of the prevailing winds when it comes to transit or rail-related anything.
Hang on 1 second again.
Good luck getting cars. Good luck getting, any sort of equipment at all.
Yeah.
Good luck maintaining it with just...
Hang on, I'm gonna be right back because I'm gonna place my computer back out there.
Okay.
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 This is what I was talking about with... I feel like you need a main connection. I feel like... So, subway cars, right? Subway cars being delivered to New York City, they used to come in by rail. And that, to me, makes a lot more sense than having to ship something in with a truck, one car at a time, separate from its wheels. Whatever. It just seems like a nightmare. It seems like way worse logistics. Even the Green Line trolleys for Boston have come in by rail. Because there's a connection at Riverside. It's like, if you're gonna build a transit network in this day and age, make it standard gauge. Just make it standard gauge rails. Because if not, you're limiting yourself to a tiny fraction of the market for equipment. And you're making hell for any museum in the future that might want your equipment. Of course, that's unimportant, but like, it just seems silly to me to be like, you know what we're gonna build right now in 2020? Something proprietary. It seems like asking for trouble.
Yep.
Just like standards.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, I guess I do. But in New York City, I believe there was a follow-up to this, but somebody sent the article, this was on the 22nd, more notes about the subway window smasher in New York City. The man who gave the MTA a glass shortage by himself. They think they caught him. And we haven't heard about any window smashing lately, so I think they caught him. I'm kind of with that. Or there's a very clever criminal who's like, yes, you definitely caught me, and is just hiding and waiting. Like, what the hell? It's a lot of vandalism. It's just... Like I said last episode, they're only making their own situation worse, because the only reason you're down there with the trains is because you're taking the trains. So, bite the hand that feeds you and break the train that moves you. I don't know. Do what you want. What else have we got? Anybody else breaking stuff?
Been windows breaking left, right, and center. It's been
Well,
a massacre up in here.
Well, Mother Nature has been breaking truffles up in Washington.
Holy crap. Yeah.
Yeah, yikes.
Which, this one, the Yakima trestle? This is the one that,
Yep.
caught on fire. It just looks like the whole structure is neon. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
Yep.
It's not the only bridge that's burned down in, like, the last 2 weeks anyway. There was the other one, the cover bridge, that burned down.
Yep. I've been keeping an eye on the fire lines because I know some wind trussels near me that would go down pretty fast if a fire were to hit them. It'd be a thing.
I'm going to toss the other link for the bridge fire in the cargoes as well.
And the weird thing is BNS up firefighting with their fire train. And UP has also been fighting with their fire train, which I think still uses the same cars that SP did on theirs.
It might be literally the same cars. Hey, if they're using the same rotaries...
Okay, I'm back after a pretty long break.
Okay. But yeah, so bolt railroads have been at it, fighting fires all across the West. So...
Yeah, it's been pretty intense. Is this the BNSF one, the Grants Pass? Or is this something else?
No, that's Corp.
Oh, Corp.
Corp. West and Pete. Central Oregon Pacific Railroad. And apparently their tracks have been severed because of wildfires too, but there's no news report on that.
What? Oh, God, we should talk about the other thing, though. We don't have an article about this. The fire getting to Train Mountain.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We should talk about that.
I mean,
and how a little bit of the north end got burnt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it burned onto their property. I think, Ellis, you saw the pictures that Jilly's posted. The water tower and the depot at whatever it is, Eads.
Mm-hmm.
The little name of the that station lived.
The station lived, yeah. I saw that. I was like, oh, thank God. You know?
Yeah.
Obviously, the track is the bigger deal, but, like...
Well, and the track is at least easy to replace.
Yeah, just man hours.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to put it this way, but I have to think about it like, hey, they wanted to clear all that area, you know, like up the north end of the property so they could build more. There you go.
I mean,
it's clear.
Silver linings.
Yeah.
Silver linings.
Yeah. I mean, not how you'd want to do it, but it's been done. It's done. And I'm glad the fire has sort of moved on from there. They're not in imminent danger anymore. I wonder if their rail cam is up.
But there was something that was an imminent danger.
Oh, yeah, what?
Oregon Pacific Locomotive 801.
Where was this?
It was in Moala, Oregon, next to a lumber mill that is still standing, surprisingly. But the engine, no one told them about the wildfire getting closer, so they couldn't grab the engine.
Oh. Was this their only engine?
Oh, wait.
No, they have, I think, 3 engines that operate those branches.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait,
This
is this
one-
switcher that got
Yep.
cooked?
And I believe this was one of their primary ones, too, because they had spent money, I think, in the last few years to have it pretty up to snuff and redone.
What kind of engine was it?
Only the SW8,
Oh.
I'm sure I read.
but it's been declared lost. So
Oh, that's the
That's
other one we
very
have to cover. The Swanton. The Swanton Pacific.
Yeah.
That got all burned out. They've established
that
a fund, I believe. Let's see. Swanton Pacific Railroad Recovery Fund. It's exciting news. The university is committing to the future of the Swanton Pacific Railroad. But this was the miniature, what was it, 15-inch?
I think it was 19 inch.
19-inch
Something weird.
railroad that got completely burned out. The engines were destroyed. I think just about everything was destroyed. These were things that Chris told me The engines were originally done for the World's Fair many years ago, and so
I believe they were, yeah, something like that.
They had some historical significance, which obviously, I found out about that. That was awful. I mean, awful. What can you say? Everything's burning down. We're losing history left and right.
If you're wondering where I was, basically I'm just
We're not.
right now I'm having a pulled chicken sandwich and some baby back ribs.
Cool.
Sorry.
We're talking about trains burning.
Sorry about that. Carry on.
But you know what isn't burning? The McLeod Railway, which is making a comeback out of nowhere.
What isn't burning?
No one saw this coming.
Speak of things that aren't on fire.
It's a shame that that's a pretty narrow. It's a pretty narrow list these days.
Yeah.
It really is.
But the year is 2020. George R. R. Martin buys the railroad. And the McLeod Railway comes back from the dead.
Mm-hmm. George R. R.
would be
Martin,
neat.
somehow still alive. Just
Yeah.
throwing it out there.
That was this year.
That he bought the railroad? That was like a couple months ago.
Oh,
I
God.
think you owned the
Yeah.
Model T when he bought the railroad. I know.
This year.
But anyway, there's work going on, and they're possibly looking at resuming tourist stop racing on the section of track that they didn't tear up. The section of the track that they did tear up about a decade ago now was a branch line. So they show up their main line.
Twas a brunch line.
Well, they're surviving. Or, well, they're back from the dead, I guess. They're resurrected.
Yeah.
You know, what
Don't
else is
say
after the-
don't say back from the dead in 2020. We're gonna wind up with some very unfortunate circumstances.
Who?
But you know what else?
We're
is being
resurrecting,
resurrected?
what's his name? That's right.
Terry Jacobs.
Yeah,
Yes.
we already talked about
Ruth
bringing,
Bader Ginsburg?
yeah, no, we already talked about bringing Pat McGinnis back from the dead.
Oh yeah.
Right. But what else is coming back from the grave is a Class 8 Climat, which is pretty different.
That's a stick shift steam engine. That's a stick shift
Yeah.
steam engine. Yes.
Yes.
Let it
Wait a minute,
live,
it's stick shift. Can we have the regular car reviews guy review it
please.
because it's stick shift?
We're trying to get Mr. Regular to either review and maybe hopefully run the 113. That's what I want. I want Mr.
Yeah.
Regular to review a steam locomotive, because if Road and Driver or if Road and Track can review Strasbourg 90, we can get Mr. Regular to do 113.
Well, and RCR's done airplanes and lawnmowers and
Yeah, right? Has he done a boat yet? Oh, we need to do a
I
boat.
don't know if he's done
No,
a boat.
I don't know.
I don't think he's done a boat.
He should do mine.
Why?
I just where trains are like catnip for white
Yeah.
people.
Let's play a game. It's called...
Actually, let me rephrase that.
Uh-oh.
Trains are pretty much catnip for those with Asperger's syndrome.
Also true.
Yeah.
Well,
But watch regular car reviews. Anybody that's in the audience that doesn't know what we're talking about, it's
Good stuff.
worthwhile. Yeah. I wanted to
Hot takes.
seg to something that I found the continuing saga, one might say.
oh
And
boy.
this is kind of the underlying explanation of what's going on here. So, you know how there's this constant, currently, dispute between Metra and Union Pacific
Yeah.
Mhm.
over what's going
Sure.
on? So, when the pandemic started picking up, Metra basically pulled all its conductors off of trains and said, you guys don't need to worry about validating fares, selling tickets, just, keep an eye on what you can. You don't need to walk through all the coaches and interact with all the people right now. And, and one might think, well, that's ridiculous, blah, 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 blah. But it's, for safety's
But in
sake,
our
this is the
modern world,
compromise
it
they
makes
made.
sense. Yeah.
And, in June, most lines started having conductors collect tickets again. So, I don't know if this was necessarily a purely health decision, like they felt that things were calm enough that they could do it, or if it was a purely financial decision, probably somewhere in between. But Union Pacific said, yeah, no, we're not gonna have our conductors do that. We don't think it's safe, basically. So we're not gonna have our conductors collect the tickets. And Metra has come back and said, well, everyone else is doing it, and we kind of need the revenue from your lines, which are a pretty hefty chunk of our system. We're losing like $1 million a month in revenue from you guys not collecting tickets. And Union Pacific says, basically, that's your problem.
So wait, what is the working relationship between Metro and UP? UP hires out conductors?
UP provides the crews and stuff for these 3 Metro lines.
Interesting. Did not know that.
Yeah. I believe BNSF also does a similar thing for some of the...
I think it's kind of like how SP owned Caltrans for a while.
So UP technically has passenger crews.
Yes.
Technically.
Yes.
Interesting.
And this was the crux of part of Metro's argument with the Surface Transportation Board and with the courts. It's UP. So at the beginning of this, I guess,
Right.
Metro said, "Okay, we're bringing conductors back or whatever," and UP said, "Well, we're not, and that's not our problem." And they said, "No, you have to. We really need you to do this." And UP said, "We actually don't want to run your trains anymore."
And by the way, I'm breaking up with you.
Yeah. Ouch. UP says, "I think we should just be friends."
Oof.
And Metra says, "But we have a contract, and you guys are a common carrier. You can't just back out of this." It's UP saying, "We're not obligated to do this because we're a freight railroad and we can do what we want." And Metra saying, "Actually, you're a common carrier. You can't just not do this right now. You can't just decide not to do this." And they went to the Surface Transportation Board, and the Surface Transportation Board said, "No, you're on your own. I'm not helping you with this." And so
The STB's like, nope.
Hang on, I'm gonna be right back again.
and so now they're in court. This actually apparently started last year because UP wanted to get out of operating the lines, and this has just made the situation worse. So I can only assume that UP wanted to get out of the lines. Metro said no, and then the pandemic ensued, which meant UP is basically using the lost revenue as leverage to
it's
get
like
out
the
of this.
dining car on the prospector all over again.
They're saying,
Can we have the meme of the guy on the talk show?
Yeah.
The guy in the chair behind him with the gun.
Yeah.
Bang! How could COVID-19 do this?
Yeah, it's like, you're not getting your revenue from us. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? Kick us out?
What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
I'm not touching you.
Yeah, so they can't... Either way, Metro loses, and I'm wondering where this is going to go. Now, on the bright side, if it does all fall to Metro, and they do break up, and Metro is single again, that means they can
Find
some new people. For example, all those train crews are going to have to be replaced, possibly. So, just noting that TVA just moved to Chicago could be an opportunity for him.
Hey, man.
So,
Sally forth.
I don't usually root for my friends to break up, but UP.
You're friends with Union Pacific.
I was gonna say
kiss,
UP isn't really my friend. UP almost destroyed my crap. Where'd it go? Did I delete it? I deleted it. There's the thing about the Central Pacific car. I wanted to somehow stake to that, and I deleted it because nobody grabbed it. Oh well. Anyway.
CP is...
Your home road? It was. And it was beautiful.
You know what's beautiful? Actually, I've got 2 railroad sales to talk about. I wanted to get to these. KCS went up for sale, as many of us may know. Blackstone made a takeover bid. and Global Infrastructure Partners submitted bids. Previously, they
Not
had been rebuffed.
Blackstone models.
No, not
for those
Blackstone.
curious.
Blackstone Group.
Damn. I thought they made that much money off of the
Yeah.
K36 model.
Yeah.
That's why they've been holding out on us.
Yeah.
KCS apparently is worth $18 billion, which is less than I expected. But they put
Okay.
in their bids, and KCS, after receiving a bid for $23 billion, rejected it and said, "No, we don't. That's not good enough."
We
You know,
don't want to do this.
the bid price is Kansas City as if the pandemic had never happened. It's a 17% premium over the stock's pre-lockdown high in February. So, and the sides aren't in discussion. So basically, Blackstone Group and Global Infrastructure Partners said, "Hey, you want $23 billion for the railroad?" And KCS said, "Nah." And that's been the end of it. I just want to point out, though, does that seem like not a lot of money for a railroad to anybody?
Considering
Especially
UP turned like 240-ish billion in revenue last year, yeah, that seems like not a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, they're valuing it at 18, and I think in this article it said that BNSF is valued at like 38 billion or something like that.
Yeah.
Even that seems a little
Oh,
low.
sorry,
Buffett
30
wanted
I wonder
more
what
in there.
that's based on, if that's just assets or
Oh, no, that was the
revenue
sale price.
potentials.
Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway agreed to buy BNSF for about 36 billion during the last financial crisis in 2009. So
Good job, Buff.
yeah,
Good going billionaire.
so yeah, BNSF sold for 36 billion, and KCS just turned down a $23 billion bill. The thing I'd like to compare this to is that Microsoft bought Minecraft for $2.5 billion. So this $23 billion bid is like less than 10 Minecrafts. Also, with inflation,
That's the unit.
with inflation, it's like 8.5. It's like 8.5 Minecrafts for an entire multinational rail system. It just seems a little low to me.
Yeah.
Which that connects to something else that I noticed Barris has, if he's back.
I'm back.
You want to talk about the BNSF CEO?
Yeah. Believe it or not, to those who are oddly uneducated,
Okay.
BNSF's new CEO is a woman, Catherine Farmer.
Good job, BNSF.
I mean,
Apparently, she's been
go ahead.
the railroad's executive vice president since 2018, and she will also be the first woman to lead a Class 1.
Good job.
She's been with BNSF longer than most of us have been alive, correct?
Yeah.
Really?
And she's to
Oh yeah,
She's
holy
been with
crap.
the
Become
company
the
since the
CEO.
90s. Yeah.
and she's to become the CEO on New Year's Day of 2021.
At least it's not this year.
She started her career in 1992 with BN
Holy
as
crap.
the management trainee.
Holy crap. Hey, you can work up the ranks. And this is, I mean,
So
it's,
good. Wait,
it's neat because somebody's worked up all the way from management trainee over the course of almost 30 years of a career. It's neat
which
that
is
this
pretty
is,
decent.
yeah, it's neat that this is the first female CEO of a Class 1, although admittedly that's a fairly small group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
It's still CEO.
yeah, I mean, it's still really cool.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know, it's something interesting. I mean, it's not something
It's
amazing.
It's unique
It's
to
another-
me.
Yeah, it is unique
It,
so
it
far.
is unique.
But
Oh.
BNSF has named new CEO. I mean, and I guess it is noteworthy enough because we've had all these other management changes come to pass. I mean, NS has had it feels like half a dozen management changes in the last couple of years, and we have not talked about any of them because it's uninteresting.
Yeah.
But this one, it's like this woman's a shining star, and
Yeah.
I hope that she does good things with BNSF. And they're definitely not PSR that they're doing.
Yeah.
And we'll see how this
It's
goes.
not PSR, but you'd better fucking make money.
Yeah, meanwhile, I'll just back this with Union Pacific and 4 articles we have of them laying people off. I'll just put those in the cards. Anyway.
Doing our own bikes it does.
Oh, if we're talking about diversity, I just want to give a shout out to the Taliclin, because they ran a pride train, which I think the only way...
Nice.
This is... I mean, how could this not be adorable? It's just... it's cute, and it's, I mean...
It's 2 foot and pride.
It's
What else
what
do
the
you
people
need?
want, and it's
Yeah.
pride. And I mean, think about what else we associate rainbows with. It's just like
Yeah.
the Taliflin is a magical place, and we
Yeah.
should all go
Very much like to go someday.
when
Yeah.
there's not a
I'm
pandemic.
supposed to go.
I'm
Thanks, COVID.
You were actually supposed to go?
Yeah, I was going to go volunteer on the
Oh, that's
Welsh
right.
Highland, and then one of the days I was going to go down to Taliflin.
I forgot about that. I forgot you guys were going out there.
Yeah,
You and-
I
you
was
and
gonna
Chris-
I was gonna have a nice little Welsh vacation. No,
Nope. No vacation
No.
for you.
nope, Novid.
No
No,
vid. Ouch. Anyway. Alright,
well,
what
I
else
had
we got?
bids, but can't share that.
What else have we got?
I got really good news out of one of my favorite tourist railroads, the Lebanon, Mason, and Monroe.
Oh yeah?
Nice.
They have announced their reopening after COVID, during COVID.
Nice.
They're coming back with their pumpkin train on October 17th, 18th, and the 24th and 25th.
Yay.
From what I understand, they originally announced they're just going to come back with their Christmas trains, and then I saw this earlier in the week, and I'm like, yes, I'm going to go down and maybe not ride it, but I'm definitely going to chase. I want to go chase it because 5704, if they have it on there,
What is 57?
and then it's a C&O Jeep.
Bummer.
It's like 50.
Wait, is that the one that got repainted?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, that's cool.
really pretty one that isn't 5833. But yeah, I want to go down and chase for that, and definitely drop a few bucks in a donation box if I see one. Let's see it. Trip length's going to be about 1 hour. They're doing 4 departures every day. Adult tickets are $20. Kids and seniors are $15, and infants are $5. And then they're going to be doing social distancing on the train, and they're going to have people. They're going to have seasonal scarecrow hosts to help everybody maintain social distancing while they're on the train. And
Nice.
then they have
Like that's going to
Yeah.
be possible.
No, that sounds
isn't it?
hilarious. That's great.
That's a great use of it.
Yeah. We've got baddies on Halloween to keep people apart.
Yeah.
I love it. Lean
Yeah.
into it. Let's, I'm not sure how to turn COVID into like some sort of entertaining sort of word, but whatever.
I don't know. But yeah, if you're in the Cincinnati area, go see these guys. Go ride the train. They're one of my favorite roads. They seem to have their shit together.
Well, that's
If
good.
I was going to Cincinnati or somewhere down there, I'd probably be with these guys.
hmm
But oh well.
You know who else seems to have their stuff together? This is actually fairly interesting. I know a while back I talked about the Big Sky Passenger Rail Authority. By the way, awesome name.
Yep.
This is the group that's in Montana trying to get a second cross Montana long distance train, whether that be via Amtrak or on its own volition.
Yeah.
Despite everything that's happening with Amtrak, which don't worry, I'll rant about that a little bit later. I'm sure you guys all know what I have to say already. Don't railroad Amtrak. Quote, the train has left the station for the Big Sky Passenger Rail Authority. They have, by the end of the month, they expect to have 10 counties on board, and members of the authority will work with the rail lobby in Washington, D.C. to get grants and funding and look to bring passenger service back in operation, which more leaning on passenger service is more important than ever right now because of the things that are happening with Amtrak. We've had several spirited discussions about this in The Horseman.
Oh, hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, I'm back.
What happened to you?
Ah, where'd
Internet
you go?
died.
Oh.
Oh,
I was saying on your comment of making, the Rona something entertaining, best I could come up with is greatest Chauvet on Earth.
Okay. You know what? That's actually that's not bad. I'll take that.
Woo!
But very briefly, I'm going to go over the Amtrak cuts. you can read into this more. I'll put the articles down there. But basically, all the long-distance trains are dropping to once every other day, or effectively once or 3 times a week in each direction, which is terrible.
Yeah.
And at the same time, they're setting these demands of, like, by this time next year, if we have 90% of the amount of bookings that we had this year, then we might consider bringing them back to, among other things, we might consider bringing them back to daily. And I'm just frustrated by this.
That might is very important thing, because, no.
It's a by-line thing. I feel like the bar is way too high. I feel like we're losing something we're not going to get back. It's letting these things slip, and the thing we see is no matter what the reason is, when we let something slip, it doesn't come back.
No.
And the thing that I always like to point to is Hurricane Katrina and the Sunset Limited.
Yep.
And, the tracks got knocked out,
Right.
CSX came back in like 2 months, they had everything fixed, and the President of the United States gets on national TV and says, we're going to have the train back in 3 months, we're going to make it happen. And it's been 15 years.
Yeah.
So...
Oh, I know that feeling all too well.
Yeah. We can't lose this stuff. And 3 times a week is just... It's inconvenient. It makes things difficult. And we even had it, and I mean, admittedly, I was skeptical too. I'm thinking, like, okay, obviously not a lot of people are riding right now, it'll consolidate people onto those days, yeah, people could just work with it, whatever. But then we had, like, 4 members of the Iron Horsemen get screwed over by this immediately. Trying to plan for Operation Apollo next year.
Yeah.
And I got mad. I just, like, had to step away from the computer and was like, this is the problem. This is a problem. And...
Yeah.
I feel like there's nothing we can do about it right now. I mean, we can push on our our representatives and our congresspersons, and whatever. I mean, call, email, leave messages, everything you can do. But except for this one dude who's still, I love, I can't remember his name, the senator from New Mexico who's constantly out there trying to save the Southwest Chief.
Yeah.
Just like
Can't remember his name either, but yes.
Yeah, we know who he is.
Yeah.
Our friend.
Yeah. He there he is, Senator Tom Udall. Quote, Amtrak's announcement that they plan to lay off thousands of employees, which they're doing, they're laying off about 2,000 people, and reduce rail routes is a serious blow to our state and the nation. I urge Amtrak to reverse course on these layoffs, which include hardworking New Mexicans who rely on their jobs at Amtrak to feed their families and keep a roof over their heads. And, he goes on to talk about how this hurts the communities and stuff like that, and we have an article as well that's basically, that in no uncertain terms is saying that this is a business that's closing because the long-distance service is being reduced. This is actually a place in Grand Junction. We probably have seen this.
Probably.
Dave's Depot.
Isn't that where we ate?
Is that where we ate?
Is
I think it's a shop. I think it was next door. It was like next door because it's in the old...
Oh, it's the one in the building
Yeah.
with the Am Shack.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's been sitting at the Grand Junction Amtrak station for 27 years, and this is the last straw to the shop, for the shop. So...
Sad face.
Yeah. Awful. Garbage. It's impacting so much more
Garbage.
than just Amtrak. And it pisses me off.
Yes.
And if I can get mad about one more thing, I'd like to talk about another reason why you don't build a goddamn monorail. The Las Vegas monorail is filed for bankruptcy again.
Hang on. There's a few things to unpack there. A, there's a Las Vegas monorail. B, they've already been bankrupt. And C, why are they bankrupt now? I feel like alcoholism and vice would be like at an all-time high.
Yeah, but nobody's going to Las Vegas. Everyone's doing alcohol and vice from home.
You know why they're not going to Las Vegas? Because the monorail isn't running.
Good point.
You're right, now I have
They
no
can't get-
reasons to go.
I was more along the lines of now they have no means of getting there, but I said that on the assumption that the monorail actually went somewhere, which it doesn't, because it's a monorail.
We're done. I've never seen a map of this. I only have, like, a vague notion of knowing of its existence. Hold on, let me look up the Las Vegas monorail.
Monorail!
Yeah. I like how we get two monorails
This
in
again.
one show. Alternative to shuttles, taxis, and trains. Can I just have a map, please? I don't need the advertising for it. I'm already on board. It's already not a taxi.
Yeah.
Okay, so it goes. I mean, I guess it's not bad. It goes between the MGM Grand, Bally's / Paris, Caesar's Palace, Harrah's. What is that one? Las Vegas Convention Center, Westgate, Los Angeles, and Las Vegas, Sahara Ave. It's not a lot of places. I guess it's better than nothing, but I'm not surprised it's bankrupt. Oh well, get good. Don't build a monorail. If they just put light rail down the middle of the Las Vegas Strip, you know how much money they would make? It'd be ridiculous.
Oh,
There would be a lot of money.
Anyway, I mean, I would ride it. I would go there just to ride it. I mean, when you're smashed, you're not driving back to the hotel.
And if you ever tried to walk anywhere in Las Vegas, how fucking hot it is.
That's what, they need to put a dome over the entire city. Just air condition the whole thing.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This was the plot in the Fallout game.
Yeah.
Except for instead of Las Vegas, it was Boulder. I think. Yeah.
I don't know all the Fallout lore, but
It was the canceled Fallout game.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's why you don't
Okay.
know. Yeah.
I mean, I probably wouldn't have known it anyway. I was just like, I know some things about New
Okay.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Anybody got any other dome-isms before I get distracted with other
Yeah,
stuff? I'm noticing we have a lot of news left.
Actually, I do have a domeism because CSX has purchased a dome car and an SP Super car.
How we doing time-wise?
I mean, we're at we're at 220, but it's just a chonker of an episode, just like those engines.
Chonker.
Oh wait, CSX bought these? Oh, I didn't even realize.
Yes, they did.
What a bunch of
Sounds
foamers.
interesting.
Which is, man, now that's gonna be cursed. An SP Super on the CSX SX train.
Oh no.
This is what I've been saying, though. This is what I've been saying. CSX is the good guys now.
Yeah,
They need a Steam program, and that's
they went from evil to chaotic neutral to lawful good.
Yeah.
Real fast.
And they have a tragic backstory. They weren't evil because of no reason. They were evil because of Ross Roland.
Yeah.
Is this the plot from Megamind?
Yes. Maybe I don't want to be the villain anymore.
Speaking of not being the villain anymore, poll results so Americans continue the strongest support rail development, which is
We
good.
support rail development, and yet Amtrak is getting,
Yeah.
I wish the things that we wanted as a people would translate to what we get. We're supposed to be in a
Wouldn't that be
democracy.
great? Would it be great?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
Oh, sorry.
Some stupid orange.
Hurts drunk Randy Marsh out of the room.
But yeah, it's just an interesting statistics thing. It's like a whole bunch of people actually support this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, believe it or not, people like trains.
Yeah.
That's the name of the
Yeah.
podcast. I'm going to go on a t-shirt.
The-
and you and the Rooster Teeth store, people like trains.
Speaking of
The
t-shirts,
driving of trains.
You did that bit way too well.
What, me?
Yes.
I've been watching a lot of content, man. I have nothing else to put on while I'm working.
Even make the people like grapes joke. You had it word for word done.
I've been sitting on that one. I'm going to be honest. I was waiting for that one because I thought about it before the episode started. It's totally unlike the other thing that came off the tongue so smoothly with Locomotive Versus. That was one that I was like, yeah, this would be kind of funny to say. Yeah, I'll sit on this. just to see if anybody took that article.
So, speaking of t-shirts,
Yes.
Speaking of t-shirts and T1s,
T-1s.
the Reading 2100, their group, they
All
have been holding a t-shirt contest, to help fundraise for 2100's restoration.
And speaking of 2100,
Excellent segue.
apparently it's completed its hydro test with the FRA.
Yep.
We're thinking of different engines.
Yeah, no, this is the other, not the other 2100, the other 2100. There's four of these still around. 2102 is the one that Bears is talking about.
2102 is still nearing completion, and it's looking pretty. And it looks like it's getting pretty damn close. Darn it!
If Chris was here,
Cussed on the good Christian Minecraft server.
If Chris was here, he would love to talk about it because he's like, we're gonna get T1s, we're gonna put two T1s together. And here I am watching the Reading and Northern get in trouble over not paying taxes again. I mean, name a more iconic couple. The Reading and Northern and not paying taxes.
Tristan Timberlake and Britney
Carrie
Spears.
Toe and Asano.
CSX and blowing stuff up, but not anymore. No, I mean the RBMN has filed a lawsuit against the Wyoming Valley Sanitary Authority, attempting to end a stormwater fee on 6 of its rail properties. They argue those properties should not be subjected to the fee because they fall outside urbanized areas. For background, the fee stems from a federal pollution reduction mandate imposed on municipalities that require municipal separate storm sewer system. Okay. It's basically saying you guys need to put in separate stormwater systems from your sewer systems. The complaint maintains the railroad company is not receiving any service for the fee because its non-urban properties do not discharge or drain onto any stormwater infrastructure owned or operated by any municipality. Normally I'm like, the RNN's up to RNN things, but this seems kind of legit. They probably got caught.
They had tons of ground to stand on here.
Yeah. Now they're
particularly their ground.
As a compensation, the authority automatically provided credit to all parcels outside urbanized areas. Oh, basically they're upset they didn't get a kickback for not being in an urban area. So that's a weird way for the county to do it in the first place, but I can see why the RNN is a little miffed at this.
Yeah.
But so it's not what I initially said, of course. It's not that same thread.
There was actual ground to stand on there in terms of.
Well, I do hope the RNN gets it sorted out, and I'm wondering what sort of wide net was cast if rail yards are just legally defined as urbanized areas because they're built up.
Sorry, I just got an Amber Alert on my phone.
Okay. We didn't hear it. Fine.
Thank God.
Anyway,
because that startled me.
Anyway, all right. Is everybody else paying their taxes?
Is this enough?
Well, what about your supervillain?
You know.
Yeah, is your supervillain paying his taxes?
Yeah. I'm sure.
I noticed you haven't gotten to your news yet.
Yeah. I'll run through lightning round news. Honestly, I don't have a lot this week that I deemed super, super important. The Towner line is set to begin running again at some point. Dates are uncertain, but that's going to happen. There's moves and shakes and quakes and sweeps and creeps coming on with the Front Range passenger rail thing. It's a little bit like the Amtrak lament that you had earlier. It's, everybody is in support of this, and yet nothing is happening because potatoes.
I know that feeling.
I have yet to hear of any real progress with the Front Range passenger thing. Additionally, or somewhere that progress is actually happening, Pikes Peak. Track is now down below tree line. Way below tree line, in fact. They are almost at the halfway point down the mountain.
Nice.
Wow.
So they're clicking along. They're really moving. Their biggest limiter, as I think I touched on it a couple podcasts ago, we were down there and talking to a couple of the guys. Mm-hmm. Their biggest limiting factor for the speed at which they can lay track is getting ballast up the mountain. They can lay track as quickly as they can put rock on the side of the hill. So the closer to the bottom they get, the quicker they can get ballast up there, the faster they lay track.
Awesome.
So
They're
wait,
really
they
clicking
started from
along.
the top of the mountain and went down.
Yes.
Huh.
I don't know why, but
But logic would say start at the bottom and make your way to the top of the mountain. But
I think the reason they did that was to limit the amount of high rail stuff they had to do. Like, if you lay track from the bottom up, everything has to go to the end of track by rail. So excavators, bulldozers, gravel,
yeah.
everything has to
Yeah.
go by high rail.
that makes
Whereas
sense.
if you start at the top, you just have to drive up and down a whole bunch.
That makes sense. It's
Yeah.
probably cheaper that way.
But
Yeah. And they
Okay.
do have some high rail equipment, but not a whole lot. They've got, yeah, it's a really neat operation. They're still looking at their May opening date. And then this one was from Ogillies, which I haven't looked into, so I'm not certain as to how accurate it is, but the Uinta Basin Railway has been greenlit, is the headline. Drexel Hamilton.
Alexander.
English words, pardon me. Drexel Hamilton Infrastructure Partners, LP DHIP, and the State of Utah 7-County Infrastructure Coalition on September 8th executed an agreement to advance the Uinta Basin Railway, which is owned by Rio Grande Pacific, or it's due to be owned by Rio Grande Pacific, which is a holding company that has the Louisiana thing? New Orleans Bay Rail? I don't know. I'm not sure what this actually means for the project. As far as I knew, it was already quote-unquote greenlit. I don't know. This is, there are 80 billion switches that have to be thrown for this to work. And this is a positive for the 7 billion, or the 7,597,000 blah, 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 switch. So, yay, good for them.
yeah.
I will still believe it when I see it.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
But
I'm
then
hopeful.
again, I'm a cynical
But,
snide
yeah.
bastard. I'm hopeful too, yeah.
Anyway.
I'm hopeful, but this is something that you don't see in the modern age, and I feel like there are reasons for that.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily good reasons, but...
I have another one, though.
Oh.
There was an ask for the STB to okay a new rail line in Kentucky and Tennessee.
Ooh.
This is a 12-mile connection. I think like a third of it is on existing grade,
Okay.
or a quarter of it.
Yeah.
And it's because there's like an issue with the existing Canadian National Track to Hickman Port, and this will create a better route between the Tenkin Railroad and the Union City Terminal Railroad, which are two, I guess, small lines around this Kentucky River port.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's interesting. There's also a link to the STB filing page for this. It's just nice to see more trains, or more tracks being built.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And something else, the way of the future. There was a
Future.
a battery-operated rail engine, a shunting engine, which was developed, I think, in India. That's the Indian flag, right?
Yes.
And, I mean, the engine can work on regular, like tracks with overhead lines, because it has a pantograph, but it can also operate normally on regular track, because it's got it's packed with batteries. When it puts the pantograph up, it can charge in 40 minutes, and it doesn't say how long it can be used for on the battery, which is an important part, but they seem pretty happy with it. It doesn't seem like an experiment anymore. It seems like something that they're going to use now. So,
Nice.
we talk about battery engines from time to time, and I've been sitting on this article for a little while, but it's interesting to see them sort of take another step as like more proofs of concept emerge.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And future technology in batteries is not the only thing that we're seeing. The Deutsche Bahn in Germany has launched a program to test digital couplers in regular freight traffic. So
How is that going to work?
it's got
It's just like
what?
what is it? You get well, Milky and Weibold. I know you guys would know this, but it's like the crowbar coupler in Gmod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just cars,
Yeah.
get them close. Chunk. There you go.
I gotcha.
No slack action, no nothing.
But yeah, I mean, these things, I mean, they look futuristic. Digital couplers would mean longer and heavier trains with marshalling yard capacity raised by 40%, and the number of wagon load services increased from 9,000 to 27,000 a week. I'm not really sure how this would do it, but I assume it just means... I assume that's because, well, A, European couplers suck, as someone who's played a lot of Derail Valley in the last week can tell you. Germany is the only ones that have, like, wised up a little bit, and they had, like, one train that started adopting Knuckles, and they started adopting Knuckles elsewhere, I think. And now I guess they're just jumping into the 25th century and going for automatic couplers, which...
Skipping right over Buckeye.
Yeah, which are presumably going to be able to couple and also uncouple remotely.
Buckeye, am I a joke to you?
Which honestly is super cool. I mean, it probably means that we're going to have, well, like they said, more capacity because switching is going to be a lot faster and people don't have to be wandering up and down the trains all the time and sticking their heads in between stuff. And I guess that also means that this is going to be a lot safer. I mean...
I was gonna say, like the main savings would be time and personnel.
Yeah. I mean, normally we talk about some of these advancements as, like, hurting the job market. You know, we talk about reducing to one-man crews here and there. But, I mean, this is something that I'm not sure we can find anyone to vehemently disagree with. Because, I mean, what's it going to do? It's just going to save time. I don't know. I don't like climbing under those stupid cars in Derail Valley to couple things, and I'm sure the people in real life definitely don't like doing that.
As someone that has had to deal with Lincoln Pen coupling, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's true. You have Lincoln Pen. Oof.
Yep.
It's just asking to lose a hand or a torso.
Yeah.
Except for ours, it's much more primitive than that, but still, it's not good.
More primitive than like 1800s Lincoln.
Oh, it's that, but
wait, is it like a tow bar thing?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Yarp.
Yarp.
I
Anyway.
was gonna say, you guys have we have cars where the knuckles are frozen half the time. You really have to wail on it, open.
Yeah.
I'm sure Okonoks feel the same way.
Alright, anyway. Let's run through the rest of what we got here and head off into the Wild Green Yonder.
Phoenix Trolley Museum got a call about a month ago now about an old trolley that no one knew existed until this year. It was one of the very few to survive their 1948 car barn fire, and it's one of two cars that survived. And it's one of two cars that no one knew what happened to. But apparently it had became part of a house, probably, or somewhere. But anyway, they found it, and they're going to buy it. So they got funds to, or they got a fundraiser up. If you want to check that out. But I thought that was kind of cool because that's just kind of thing that you hear about in tracks and preservation quite a bit. Just an old streetcar or interurban body that just popped up. And it's usually these rare cars where it's like it's one of a few. You don't really hear about the more common cars that were actually saved, being cabins.
How are we doing for time?
Well, I've got the Texas State Railroad derailment to talk about.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, go ahead.
Apparently, a train, one of the trains they were derailed.
Ooh.
Was everyone okay?
According to a spokeswoman, at the time it was being reported, there were no reports of any injuries.
Okay.
That's good.
I blame
Apparently,
that.
they were about 10 miles from Palestine.
Okay.
Or Palestine, I don't know.
Palestine. Yeah. I blame that Iowa Pacific Dome
Thankfully,
car.
it was able to make its way back to the Palestine depot.
Well, some of it
Though
was.
it was shaking on the way back.
Some of it was. The derailed cars were left behind, it says.
Oh.
I mean, you're not going to take them with
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently, this derailment killed any chance of more trains throughout September.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
the last weekend was going to be this weekend.
Yeah,
So,
and they probably got to go and do a full track inspection.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
true.
Okay,
You know,
Superdome for that.
yeah, in the video, there's an Iowa Pacific Superdome on the train.
On the ground.
And I blame that for it.
Anyway. Alright.
There's
Let's
a
just-
fundraiser for a New York Central baggage car,
Okay,
which is pretty cool. That's going to be moved to Louisiana to join the ridiculously long name that owns SP 745. And, of course, 2926 has had some delays due to the pandemic. So there's a news article on that as well.
Alright.
That's all I got.
Let's be done.
Yeah.
I just have a couple things, but they won't take very long.
Okay.
And one of them is pretty cool.
They're all pretty cool. Okay,
They're all
so
pretty-
first up, with railroads slowly coming back during the pandemic, Cuyahoga Valley, they're coming back October 1st with their regular fall rides. Of course, things are going to be different with social
Yeah.
distancing and all that. And then they're also going to do some form of their ever-popular Polar Express this year.
Yes.
More information is coming. So there's that. Let's do... So, repeater trains, Jason Tron,
Yep.
and RDCs. He's gone too far.
No, wrong. He is not.
Yeah.
And the next
Well,
step,
man,
as we
that's
previously discussed, is LS swapping an RDC.
Well, wait a
Yeah.
minute. These are
Timeline long
bus.
enough.
Now that I think about it, they're more like a bus. Can we get Mr. Regular to review one of these?
Oh, please. Please. That'd be awesome.
Regular train reviews. Please.
That'd be
Yes.
absolutely amazing. Yes, we need to
Regular
get
train.
Mr. Regular to review an RDC. Absolutely. All right.
Anyway, they bought RDCs. Sweet.
What else?
Let's see. Nevada Northern number 81, sister engine to 93 and 40. This September 7th, so just a few weeks ago, they did their first test fire during its restoration. This is the first time it's been under steam since the 1950s.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And then the last thing relating to steam that I have.
Oh boy.
White River Western 19
My boy.
has had a hydro test. It's mostly complete. The video that is posted, they're just blowing out the cylinders, blowing out all the crap out of the cylinders.
I think there was another video of them running it for a little bit too. But
That I haven't seen.
I don't.
I could be wrong. But
I didn't think it was
Yeah.
put together enough to run.
I don't know. But yeah,
by the way, it's fantastic considering where the engine was before when they exit steam.
oh, absolutely. Yeah. So, and then overall, like just to kind of close out, I'd say despite COVID and despite shit being closed, I'd say 2020 is a halfway decent year for Steam.
Mm-hmm.
For steam, Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, there were a lot of projects that were rolling in 2019. I remember we called, 2019 the year of Steam at some point. We did.
Yeah.
And we're just sort of, seeing the fruits
We're
of
like-
that labor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely in terms of Steam.
I also have another article. Just one more thing. It's about the Pan Am sale. It really has nothing substantial. It's just sort of a breakdown of what could be going on here, and I think I'm going to save it so that I can read it and understand a little better. We don't really know what's happened to Pan Am yet. We don't know who the new kids on the block are going to be. But we do know that Pan Am, as we know it, is not long for this world. And I really hope that it gets better and not worse. Not that worse is a particularly easy direction to head in when you're Pan Am.
Well, the railroad and Maritime.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You know how people say, oh, when you hit rock bottom, there's nowhere to go but up. Not if you keep digging. Pan
Yeah.
Am. I've not known of many other railroads that are so loath to invest in their own infrastructure. Anyway, that brings us to the end of that part of the podcast. That means there's only two things left. The first thing being the latest train on Amtrak. Let's take guesses.
Okay.
And there's one that is experiencing a service disruption.
Oh boy.
DSLA?
Wait.
Is that the one suffering the service disruption?
I can't tell you that right now. I will tell you at the end.
Okay.
Alright.
So, I'm gonna go with the southbound Coast Starlight.
Coast Starlight, alright.
Surprising no one.
No. It's been a while. It's good to have you back.
Shit.
What?
Look in Iron Horseman. You want to just post a photo of the Texas State derailment. Holy.
Oh no!
Oh.
Whoops.
That is not good.
Hey,
Whoops.
Texas State, you got some track work to do.
Oh. Okay, now I can see why they, would cancel trains for the rest of
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
Problem number one is getting that car out of there.
Yeah. 'Cause that's
Who
like in the
knows
middle-
how long that'll take?
Yikes.
I give them a couple of weeks at least. Or a couple of weekends of work, I guess.
God.
One to get the cars out and one to fix the track. At least it wasn't on a switch or something. Anyway, alright. So, southbound Coast Starlight, what else have we got? Latest train on Amtrak, what are we thinking?
Feeling silver vibe today.
Sunset Limited.
Sunset Limited, which one? Oh, there's only one Sunset Limited on system, so
No?
I'll just give it to you.
Uh-oh. Discord again.
Oh, are you dying?
Oh. Hello.
There's
I'm
only
back.
there's only one Sunset Limited on system, so I'll just give it to you. Alright.
Okay.
What else have we got?
How about let's do the northbound Silver Star.
Northbound Silver Star, alright. And Bears, you got a guess?
I'm not exactly sure.
Alright, latest train on Amtrak. Just name a
Latest
train.
train on Amtrak?
Yeah, latest train on Amtrak. Just name a train if you don't know. Just pick
I'm
a
just
name
gonna
out
say
of a hat.
Coast Starlight.
Alright, Coast Starlight. I'll give you the other direction of the Coast Starlight. Alright, so the southbound Coast Starlight to Los Angeles, that's what Milky guessed, is 16 minutes late. The other one is actually 11 minutes early.
Huh.
Okay.
Possible.
Impossible. Which one did you say? The northbound Silver Star?
Yes.
Where is that? That's over. There it is. Is 17 minutes early at Jacksonville. Let me check this one to make sure. Okay, that's a Palmetto. Okay. This is an interesting one. The Sunset Limited to New Orleans is almost there. It is literally, it's in the city limits. And it is 2 hours and 4 minutes late. But it is not the latest train on Amtrak. just going to check these others real quick just to make sure. The northbound Coast Starlight is 2 hours and 19 minutes late at Centralia, Washington. That is the latest train on Amtrak. And the other northbound Coast Starlight is currently experiencing a service disruption at Santa Cruz.
I see.
Or at San Jose, rather. So,
As you could probably hear a cat.
meow meow. But yeah, I mean, that's it. We've got some other late trains. Nothing really crazy. It's been a pretty decent day for Amtrak, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, the Hudson Bay is 8 and 7 hours late. Or, sorry, 6 hours 15, and then 7 hours 57 minutes late, respectively. The two that are going in opposite directions. So that's kind of rough. But, yeah, I mean, Amtrak's doing pretty good. I'm just disappointed that a couple weeks from now, or about a month from now, I guess, we're going to have about half as many trains to choose from. Let that sink in. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the podcast. Let's terminate. It's the end of the line. Wybold, you're up first.
I would like to buy a hamburger.
Do you have the video to go with it, or you just want me to write that?
No, I want the hamburger.
Okay. Thanks. Bears?
Fagin, don't boogie.
Alright. I'm gonna copy that over. I have a little bit something more serious. So, I mean, I could swap around and go last. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Because I'm in charge here. Milky?
Okay. Yeah, I have a nice black and white image of two key system shipyard railway cars at Western Railway Museum. And these cars were built in very late 1800s for the New York elevated subway.
Oh, that's cool. What's with the stripes?
World War II.
Also, I like how ornate the platforms are.
Yeah.
And just how absurdly huge the pantograph looks. There's so much weirdness about these cars. Okay, I can stare at them for a while. These are at a museum?
Yeah, they're Western Railway Museum.
Oh, okay. Wait, was this a recent picture that's just black and white? Am I being bamboozled?
Yep.
Or?
It is a recent picture that from 9 months ago.
Oh, damn, I need to go see these then. Alright, Jader?
Yeah.
So I found this. It was passed on to me a couple weeks ago. I love Top Gear. I love memes. Top Gear memes are some of the best memes out there,
Okay.
especially this one.
Sometimes my memes are truly incredible. And, on a bit more of a somber note, just before we started making this podcast, and this is Welcome to Dating the Podcast 101, but literally less than half an hour before we started making the podcast, we received news that Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away at the age of 87. And you may not agree with her on anything. I know being a Supreme Court Justice is a divisive role sometimes. But as one who takes that role and dedicates their entire life to it as she did, I think she deserves her place as a sort of paragon of justice and deserves a moment of silence with her passing.
Good words.
Thank you. Okay. And with that, we're ending People Like Trains. Unless we have a better name for the podcast, but I think I'm going to stick with that. And I hope everyone enjoyed this episode. I'd like to thank my co-hosts and you, Bears, for coming along. And I'll see you guys.
You're welcome.
I'll see all you in the audience in a couple of weeks. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Good luck.